Okay, to start off our presentation today, the first group to start to present will be group 5, right? Okay, group 5, please proceed with your presentation.
So very good evening to Mr. Raghav, moderators watching this, and also fellow students. My name is Navin. I'm the CEO for Axiata, alongside with Fu Chiawen, my CMO, my CPO, Eva Sherilyn, and also the CFO, Tiban Raj. And today, myself and my team will be presenting a poster presentation on Axiata. Delving into the company background of Axiata, we are a mobile telecommunications operator, and we also call ourselves as the Asia-centric multinational. We have a subscriber base exceeding 240 million users, and we're also Asia's biggest mobile operators. So delving into the external factor evaluation matrix, which is the EFE matrix, this consists of the opportunities and threats, and the first three opportunities would be the increase in smartphone usage over the pandemic, the increased desire for big data, which is where our ADA business model comes in, and also the third one, which would be increase for use of cashless payments during the pandemic. Moving on to the threats, which is three threats, which the first one being rapidly growing technology industry, established competitors, and also new companies emerging with the bigger funding. So the total weighted score for the EFE matrix would be 3.2. And moving on to the internal factor evaluation, however, this consists of these strengths and weaknesses. And our first strength would be our various business models, such as ADA, Aspirasi, Boost, and whatnot. And the second one would be our robust research and development. And the third one would be our good work culture and also employee satisfaction, as we have over more than 20,000 employees. And moving on to weaknesses, the three weaknesses that we have or we found out was our high churn rate. The second one would be our high operating costs, and the third one would be the loss of our market share in the recent months. So the total weighted score for the IFE matrix would be 3.3. Now moving on to the competitive profile matrix, otherwise known as the CPM, we have basically compared two other brands to Aspirasi, which is Monzo and Citibank, and we came up with five critical success factors, being brand reputation, customer service, consumer loyalty, brand availability, and also revenue. And the total weighted score for Aspirasi is 2.1, whereas for Monzo it's 2.2 and Citibank is 3.4. And moving on to the real framework, what we did here was we combined four of our assets or resources or capabilities, and we came up with the results for it based on the competitive advantage. So when we have brand, in terms of our branding, we have competitive parity. In terms of our various business models, we have a sustainable competitive advantage compared to our other competitors. In terms of employee satisfaction, we have a temporary competitive advantage. And in terms of robust research and development, we have a sustainable competitive advantage. So I'll pass on the next part to my CMO, Fu Chiawen.
Okay, thank you, Navin. So now I'll be presenting the Ishikawa diagram for problem and opportunity. Firstly, in Ishikawa problem, is drop in net revenue in 2021. From CFO finding, the marketing, promotion, and advertising cost dropped from 16,000 to 11,000 from 2019 to 2020. And then from the staff cost has increased from 131,000 to 143,000. From CPO, there are decrease in job employment and waste in valuable resources for talent program. And from CMO, there are less brand awareness due to COVID-19, hence unable to attract potential and retain existing consumer, and the cost of promotion and advertising dropped from 2 million to 1.8 million. Next is Ishikawa opportunity, which is government support in DFS industry. From CFO finding, they can track down all the expenses and create a budgetary plan for each department. And from CPO, they can implement skilled and experienced workforce in DFS industry. And from CMO, Axiata is a reputable company in Southeast Asia, which will be a huge influence in the brand awareness in DFS industry. And they can also utilize their digital business brands such as ADA to cut costs in marketing. And right now, we'll move on to the objective. For CEO objective is to increase the market share by 30% in 2030 for long term and 10% in 2023 for short term. For the opportunity objective is to increase the brand awareness of the DFS industry by having 50% of the brand recognition in Southeast Asia. for long term, and for short term will be 40% in brand recognition in Malaysia and Vietnam in 2023. Next is the CPO problem objective is to reduce employee turnover to 70% in long term, and for short term is to create a positive working environment in terms of engagement and support within employees for more than one country in 2023. Next is the opportunity objective for long term is to increase the training program and activities by 80% in 2030, and the short term will be 20% for two countries in 2023. Next one will be the CMO program objective is to increase the sales revenue for Axiata by 70% with marketing activities by 2030, and short term will be 40% with marketing activities by 2023. The opportunity objective will be to increase brand awareness of DFS industry by having 50% of brand recognition in Southeast Asia by 2030, and short term will be 40% of brand recognition in Malaysia, 10% in Vietnam by 2023. Lastly will be the CFO program objective is to increase the budget for HR training and engagement program and activities by 40% in 2030, and short term will be to increase the budget by 20% in HR to invest in onboard new staff in 2033. And the opportunity objective will be to increase the budget for marketing activities in DFS in Southeast Asia by 50%, and short term will be 30% in Malaysia and Vietnam in 2023. I'll pass it to Steven to talk about the QSPM right now.
Okay, thanks to Chavon, and right now I'll be presenting for the QSPM for strategy 1 and 2. So for the first strategy is product development, which is by creating a new DFS application with full fledged of digital banking service to acquire more market share. And for the second strategy is the market development, which is to increase digital marketing efforts to reach out to more consumers and identify new market segments. So in comparison for both, the second strategy, which is the market development, scored the highest. So moving on to the second QSPM. Okay, the first strategy is by expanding Axiata's current DFS business model, which is boost and aspiracy in Southeast Asia to increase brand awareness. So for the second strategy is by utilizing celebrity endorsements to build brand awareness. So in comparison to the both, the first strategy scores the highest, which is the 3.2. So right now I'll be presenting the solution matrix. Okay, so in terms of the CFO department, the first action plan they can carry forward is the Maybank Investment Corporation in Axiata, which is RM 250 million. And in terms of the marketing department, the action plan can be carried forward by maximizing implementation of search engine optimization of all Axiata brands, such as digital, telco, digital business, and infrastructure. So in terms of the HR department, training the learning management system, such as marketing research and analysis for financing and HR training, can be carried forward to attain the strategy. So in terms of second solution matrix, for the first action plan that can be done for the CFO is the strategic alliances, which is the Great Eastern Holdings, which is the investment on Axiata for RM 290 million. So in terms of the marketing department, attain the strategy, marketing department can create a country-specific social media marketing for Malaysia and Vietnam market. And lastly, for the HR department, they can carry forward by allocating the right resources to the right job by using the forecast software, which is a full suite project and resource management software. So right now, I'll be passing to the last presenter, CPO, Eva.
Thank you, Steven. So as for the Gantt chart, here's shown is the Gantt chart for short terms of each division, CPO, CFO, and also CMO. So tasks needed to be completed in short term within 2021 to 2023, as is shown here. And moving on to the possible issues and solution, as for strategy 1, potential issue on CFO, CMO, and also CPO, and this is for strategy 2 for potential issue CFO, CMO, CPO. So lastly, as for the evaluation, here's the evaluation for each division, which is CEO, CFO, CMO, and also CPO. So here's the references for our group. And that's all from us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing, guys. Only the group members, please answer the question, yeah? Okay. Okay, unshare your screen, please, Jawan. Okay. My first question for the group, pretty straightforward question that I have. In real analysis, the team mentioned that the employee satisfaction is rare. May I know why?
Yeah, hi sir. I'll answer this
Why is it
question.
rare?
Yeah, because like usually in big MNCs or maybe like big companies like Axiata, um, it's employee turnovers are very high. That's because it's usually very fast paced, and they have different business models, and when they have different business models, and if certain brands are integrated, certain employees can't handle the pressure. So employee satisfaction, why we put it into the Brio is because what we realized was when you compared with other brands such as either Citibank or other DFS brands on Glassdoor or wherever, right? The satisfaction was not as high compared to Axiata. Like Axiata's, the stats that we found online is that 96% of Axiata employees approve of the CAO and the management style and all that, and 88% of them would recommend would recommend working at Axiata to their friends and family compared to like any other brands. So that's why we put it in the Brio analysis.
No, why rare? I think I thought a lot of big businesses spend a lot of time and effort to retain and keep their employees and keep them happy, right?
Yeah, but it's not a common thing. Like it's not a common thing.
Seriously, do you have a data to back that up? Or is a
Uh,
general assumption that your group made?
it's a mixture of both, I would say.
A mixture of both. You made a general assumption and then the data.
Yeah, like from the data is just what we got off with like the website. No, sorry, not websites. The Glassdoor reviews and whatnot.
Is there something that a human resource head can vouch?
I mean, if it's on Glassdoor, then I'm not sure if the human resource head
Can I
can
speak to
vouch.
the human resource head? Chief People Officer, Eva, can you
Yes, sir.
tell me, is that true? Is it true that employee satisfaction is rare in an industry like telecommunication industry in Asia?
Yes, sir.
Do you have evidence to prove that? Can you tell me which one of your citation actually tells me that?
Because we made assumption of it, so
So is it an assumption or is a fact?
we don't have the
I thought Naveen just said 50-50. And now you're saying you don't have a fact. You don't have a data.
No, we do have data, sir. I have the data for it.
You have the data, but
Yep.
human resource don't have a data because employee satisfaction should fall under human resource, right? CPO should the one be telling me this.
Yeah, this is the data from the write-up. So it's from Glassdoor.
Okay, but why human resource CPO don't have this data and is not aware of this data? It doesn't look like she's aware of this data.
Right.
Okay, now my next question. Anybody else of the group members want to give their opinion why Brio is Brio for employee satisfaction is rare? Anybody in the group want to give their own input? Because Naveen says data, and then Eva said is not data. You guys made an assumption. So how about the other two? Kelvin and Tiban? Any comments? Any contribution in this part? Any this question?
For me, no, sir.
Okay, Tiban?
No, sir.
Okay, then I move on to my next question. Huh? So my next question is, okay, now you guys have a nice QSPM. I would like to know what are the steps taken by the group to develop the different choices of strategy before you come up with a QSPM.
So are you asking for the how we got the strategy ideas?
Yes, how you got the strategy ideas? Yes, how did you get that?
So for that part, sir, we our main objective was we target from our CEO's objective.
So how did you do it? Tell me the steps. What do you guys have gone through? How do you develop? Because I see market development there. I see market development. Let me look at it again. Huh?
Yes, sir.
I see market development is there. I also see product development is there. Right?
Yes, sir.
I see
So
market
what we did,
development, product development. Why? Tell me. How did you
so
came
what
up
we
with
did
these two?
was the results from the IFE and EFE we plotted in IE matrix, and then we
Okay.
found out where we stood, and then we came up with these strategies on how to move forward from where we're standing on, and what would be the best strategy to move forward with where we're standing, such as product development, and also I think the other one is market development, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. The thing is, IE matrix, it's
Yeah.
something that you have made a lot of assumption. You have made the weights. You have made the attractive scores. So
Yeah.
why do we think IE matrix will actually work here?
Because I think in order for us to make I think in order for us to make the assumptions, like for the IE matrix, right, we needed to get data from the IFE and EFE matrix, and those for
That is all
certain point also.
subjective, right?
Sorry.
That is also subjective, right? Your IFE, EFE, that's all very
Yeah,
subjective.
but it's not as subjective compared to the IE matrix, the part where we come up with the strategies, because for IFE and EFE, we need to get data online and then back it up, and then give the weights accordingly for the IFE and EFE. So when we get to the IE matrix and then we plot it, that is also not as subjective. But then once we're coming up with the strategies on what we want to do moving forward, that is subjective, yeah.
Okay, because from the strategies that I see that you guys give, product development, market development, okay, and also I see the word also product development, and then that's more like a utilizing celebrity, that is like a marketing ploy. Is that really a strategy, like utilizing celebrity? Why is that a strategy?
Can I
Sorry, sir.
answer that, sir?
Yeah, go ahead, please answer.
Based on the QSPM, right, our problem is there are drop in revenue, and then the opportunity is the government support of DFS, not only in Malaysia and Vietnam also. So based on our objective, right, for the CEO is to increase the market share, and then the opportunity will be increase the brand awareness, right? That's why our strategy for the second QSPM will relate to celebrity endorsement, because with celebrity endorsement, we can increase the brand awareness not only in Malaysia but in also Vietnam also. Since we also want to create increase more awareness in DFS industries, right? With celebrity endorsement, it will be a good way to achieve our objective as well.
Okay, I understand, but celebrity endorsement doesn't sound like a strategy to me. It sounds more like a marketing ploy than a strategy.
What do you mean by marketing ploy, yes, sir?
It's just like a promotional technique using a celebrity just to communicate your services, your product to the consumer. How is that a strategy?
Because it gets us the end result, the objective that we want, which is to increase brand awareness. And once we have increased brand awareness, we'd get in more users, and by that way, we'd be able to get more market share or
So
sales.
anything that fulfills your objective is considered strategy. Is that your answer?
Yeah, I mean, not entirely, but anything that fulfills our objective, yeah. Because, yeah,
So is that entirely or not entirely?
it's entirely.
Okay. Do others agree
Yeah.
with the same statement? Tiban, do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Agree. 100%.
100%, sir.
Yes.
So strategy, as long as you fulfill objective, you can achieve our objective. That is strategy.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Eva,
wanna add-
would you
Yes,
agree
add
with
on
that?
some-
Yes, sir. Agree.
Agree.
add on one
So yes, go ahead, David. What do you want to add on?
So besides that, besides my point on saying that as long as we fulfill our objective, it's a strategy. I think strategy is also something where if like certain like unforeseen circumstances come up while we're in the midst of doing whatever, like a project or anything like that, it's how we're able to adapt, or with what solutions that we're able to adapt with at that given time. That's also a strategy.
Okay, I have one last question to help me determine your marks. This is all about the structure of your poster. Okay, I would have usually expected the after problems and opportunity is to have our objectives, then QSPM, then solution metrics. Here, what I see here is I see objective, solution metrics, then QSPM, then I see Gantt charts, then no, Gantt charts come before. So right after your situation analysis, the next thing I see is Gantt chart, possible issue evaluation. Then on the right hand side, that's where I see problems, opportunity, objective, solution metrics, and QSPM. What is the background between this way of designing your poster? It looks very different and odd. Who wants to answer that? Anyone? What is the idea behind?
Do you mean the design, sir?
Yeah, because I look at it, because if I look at the sequence of what we have learned,
Yeah.
what you were doing, it was situation analysis first, then problem objective, then you have to come up with your problems and opportunity, then objective. After objective should be QSPM first, then solution metrics, then Gantt chart, then possible issues, then evaluation. But then looking at your sequence of your poster, it doesn't follow that sequence. That's why I'm asking, what is the thought behind your design? How would someone look at your poster and know exactly which flow to go to?
This is because we actually designed this because of to actually maximize the space as well, since we couldn't like make it into flow, then we have to maximize the space here.
Okay, so basically you are not thinking of the flow, you're just thinking of the space. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, others agree with the same answer?
I disagree, sir. I think what we were doing here, or what Eva was trying to say, is that she was trying to think of the flow, but then if she did think of the flow, we would not have enough space to put in whatever we wanted to communicate. So she had to use this approach. And in terms of why the Gantt chart is in the middle, I think, like, again, because of the space and also the flow. And yeah.
If it's because of flow, it's supposed to be closer to the end, not at the center. Okay, Tiban, anything you want to add to the question?
So actually, according to the flows, as like if we from the poster analysis, we can see that the situation analysis consists of the most space.
Okay,
And
so
since our CEO department, he did most of the parts. The other, like the Gantt charts or the EFE, the QSPM strategy, everything consists of less space. So we focus more on the situation. It's like left to right and from right to bottom, like that. So actually, if sir asked
left to right,
which is the
then
situation
right to
analysis to
bottom,
the
then
Ishikawa.
bottom to left.
Yes, correct, sir.
Okay, so you say there is actually a flow.
Yes, sir.
So it's a
Okay.
square.
Okay, Chawan, what do you say?
Even though our main
Three of your team members give me different answers, you know. So what answer you are giving me?
actually our objective, I was following Eva in maximizing the space, because let's say if we put the objective below the situation analysis of and then Gantt chart at there, right? Actually, not the space, it will overlap. That's why we put it there. But if you see clearly, like vaguely see it, there's actually a flow of like a clockwise flow.
Yeah, I have to agree with Tiban and Chiawan on this.
Okay,
Instead
so
of
that's
up, down,
all
or
your
left, right,
answers, huh?
it's actually like
Yeah.
a
You have your
clockwise
answers
flow.
already, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a squarish clockwise flow.
Okay, thank you. You can go at ease now. Let me give you my feedback. Give me a minute.
All right, sure.
Okay. All right. For the first part, your presentation and structure, which is C1. C1, what I've given you guys is well-designed poster. In the presentation, every member were clear in the explanation. There were clear coordination among the team members. So for the presentation and structure, you have a very good grade. Okay, you can check what specific grade by yourself, but the level is very good. For your use of academic resources, okay, there was more than sufficient resources being used, and I can highlight a couple of really good resources that you have used it. So in that case, there are a couple, but not all of it is excellent. Some of it looks more like you've been using for definition and so on. So for that case, I'm awarding you a very good grade again. Okay, all right. Then the next one, content. Talking about content, I would say they were clear and consistent adaptation of the situation analysis tool. And you have clearly shown 4 tools. So that again, C3 is content is very good as well. Then business application C4, you have clearly identified and reviewed at least one key problem and opportunity. So again, that comes up to very good grade as well for C4. Then C5 for critical evaluation, you did manage to recommend at least one strategy with clear justification and implication. But what do I felt like the uniqueness of your recommendation could have been better. Okay, so because of that, C5 goes to a good grade. Okay, a good grade. Then for Q&A answer, I've asked you guys 3 questions and your meeting minutes were sufficient enough. The content was sufficient. Okay, I've asked you guys 3 questions. For the first question, you had sufficient answer, but probably we need to have consistency across different group members. Question 2, yep. Let me see. Question 2, you have sufficient answer, but you probably want to be more firm with your development answer on developing a strategy. So question 3 is where it has lack of consistency in the answer among the team members, but at the end you try to show assertiveness and affirmativeness in the answer among the group members. So that I would given you a very good grade as well. Okay, so overall, I would say overall, the team has achieved a very good grade for their. Okay, so I already have clicked submit on your presentation. You can have a look at it now. Okay, what grades you're getting, you can quietly have a good look at it. Okay, who is which group? Group 4, you're next. So who is presenting on your behalf, group 4?
It's me, sir. I was sharing the screen.
Okay. Okay, Ili, please share your screen and please, sorry, accidentally put a mail. I need to give Ili, right? Ili. Okay, please share your screen, Ili, and proceed.
Hi everyone, we are the representative from Bank Jago Indonesia. My name is Zichi, CEO of Bank Jago, and here are my colleagues, CFO Nasim, CMO Lugandiran, and CPO Yili. Today, we would like to propose some strategies that will lead us to achieve our aspirations in becoming a top 1 DFS player in Southeast Asia. Before we start, let me briefly introduce our company. Bank Jago is based in Indonesia, and we went public in 2016. Currently, we are the market leader in the DFS industry in Indonesia. Our vision is to enhance the growth of millions through life-centric digital financial solutions. Therefore, we launched a digital app named Pockets that make money management simple, collaborative, and innovative. Moving on to the Porter 5 Forces analysis. This analysis helped us to identify our current situation in Indonesia and the new geographical market that we want to expand. In our case, we choose Malaysia market because we see a tremendous business opportunity. This 5 forces analysis will be focused on both Indonesia and Malaysia. The pressure from substitute, bargaining power of buyers and suppliers are similar in both countries. So we will emphasize the threat of entry and the intensity of rivalry. In Indonesia, the threat of entry is medium with high government restrictions and medium costs, which is good for Bank Jago as lesser new players enter into the market to compete against. For Malaysia, the threat of entry is medium with medium government restriction and medium cost, which is good for Bank Jago as a new DFS player that is preparing to expand to Malaysia. On the other hand, we also concluded the internal and external evaluation metric by combining the SWOT analysis from each department. As you can see here, our IFE total score is 2.85 and EFE total score is 3.15. To compare our competitiveness in DFS industry, we choose C group and N group for comparison in terms of financial and HR stability, products and services variety and uniqueness, geographical expansion, and brand presences in the Southeast Asia DFS market. Our conclusion is we can fight against C group because our mobile app Pockets mentioned earlier is much more competitive and unique. For now, let us discuss the problem and objective.
So as for problem identification, Bank Jago has 2 main problems. So the first one is lack of brand presence, and the second one is strong competitors such as Alipay and C-Money. So based on the Ishikawa diagram 1, the first problem is lack of brand awareness. Other departments play a role in this problem as well. The marketing department had lack of marketing efforts as they only focusing on cashback promotion in Indonesia. As for finance department, they did not allocate sufficient budget for marketing department as Bank Jago having a loss. As for HR, the problem is lack of diversity in the workplace as limit their creativity. In the second Ishikawa diagram, the problem identified is a strong competition from other DFS players such as Alipay and C-Money. Similar to the previous problem, HR, marketing, and finance department play an important role in the problem. HR did not have a comprehensive training program for employees. As for finance, rivalries have a much more stronger financial stability. And lastly, CMO begin losing market share in the DFS industry. So moving on, to tackle the first problem, each department set a clear and short-term and long-term objective. CEO decided to achieve 70% of brand recognition in the DFS industry in Southeast Asia by 2030. To achieve that, Bank Jago needs to achieve 40% brand recognition in Malaysia and Indonesia by 2023. As for other departments, we follow CEO objectives and strive to achieve our aspiration. Next, to tackle the second problem, CEO aims to reach 35% market share in the DFS industry in Southeast Asia by 2030 and reach 30% and 15% market share in the DFS industry in Indonesia and Malaysia respectively by 2023. As you can see, other departments' objectives are also aligned with the CEO main objective to overcome our problems. So let's us propose our strategies and recommendation. Now I'm going to propose about the QSPM with its final recommendation. There are 4 strategies as we can see on the poster, which are collaborating with Public Bank Malaysia and Bank QNB Indonesia, social media marketing, launching SpeedPay in Malaysia, and collaborating with Google to implement preloaded mobile app. The key factors are retrieved from CPM. The 2 strategies which are chosen are strategy 1 and 3. Strategy 1, which is about collaborating with Public Bank Malaysia and Bank QNB Indonesia, and strategy 3, launching SpeedPay in Malaysia and collaborating with are the top 2 with having highest of total attractiveness score, and it stands at 3.05 and 2.80 respectively. The next part, which I'm going to explain about, are the strategies from each department. For CFO, it is about obtaining USD 100,000 as bank loan and selling those shares. This could make earnings and monitor the bank's costs at the same time. For CMO, conducting online advertising through Facebook and customer referral incentive program are 2 selected ones. The 2 strategies which will make those customers of the bank who are considered or seen as stakeholders to feel that this idea is always acceptable for them, as it will bring them money and benefits in an incentive form, plus important information of through advertising. For CPO, the 2 strategies are about job advertising, where Google Ads and collaborating with traditional banks in terms of CIMB training program. It is beneficial for the bank to do job advertising due to the job market currently enduring the impact of COVID-19, and a lot of employees, especially experienced managers, have also lost their job. When it comes to collaborating with traditional bank, it is especially in employee development is going to help Bank Jago's employees to keep up with the industry trend and sustain Bank Jago's market vision. However, there are few possible issues that Bank Jago might face later on.
So for the possible issue and solutions, in terms of CFO, recommendation 1, get 100,000 USD bank loan. The issue is facing high interest rate due to loans borrowed from other banks. Solution is monitoring tools shall be implemented, such as ratios shall be updated constantly to check the cost effectiveness of the organization. For the recommendation 2, sell shares, the issue is Bank Jago might face high market pressure due to potential loss of control of decision-making power. The solution for this is to earnings other than selling shares, as Bank Jago has invested a lot in the technology of digital banking and expect to reach the target of 20% of earnings from sales. Let's move on to CMO. Recommendation 1, online advertising via Facebook. The issue is bank response on the Facebook page, as people will give online hateful comments or criticisms. The solution is possessing a public management team, such as regulate the comment section and provide answers for questions being asked. The second issue is huge advertisement costs for Facebook ads. Facebook ads are usually higher than the benchmark. The solution is carry out ad copy review, such as writing short explanation with creative images or pictures to attract people attention. Recommendation 2, customer referral incentive program. The issue is my having bad user experience because a complex referral program will not yield the desired outcomes. The solution is perfecting the information, such as Bank Jago must mention or elaborate on the key details. The issue 2 is could not provide the customer referral incentive program enough time to grow due to the company's its own time to develop. The solution for this is having open communication to let the message will be understood clearly by their own referrals. Let's move on to CPO. Recommendation 1, job advertisement using Google Ads. The issue is job advertisement being neglected due to high volume of advertisement in the internet. The solution is implement SEO in job advertising to increase the visibility of the ads. The issue 2 is too many irrelevant or underqualified applications due to high demand for job applications. Solution for this is prioritize quality over quantity by using industry-specific employee insights to focus the search. Let's move on to recommendation 2. Collaborate with traditional banks such as CIMB training program. The issue for this is various learning style as employee has different learning patterns. The solution is improve learning method by providing simple and uncomplicated learning material. Issue 2 is lack of involvement such as low learning motivation in employee mindset. The solution for this is provides cognitive engagement such as establishing active learning culture. Next, let's move on to evaluation. So we actually narrowed down 3 success criteria. The first one is whether Bank Jago achieved 40% of brand recognition in 2 Southeast Asia countries by 2023. And second, whether Bank Jago reached a 30% of market share in the DFS industry in Indonesia by 2023. And the last one, whether Bank Jago received a 50% of market share in the DFS industry in Malaysia by 2023. So in conclusion, we can say that after our analysis, we believe that Bank Jago has the potential to become the top leader in the DFS industry in Southeast Asia. And that's all from us. Thank you.
Excellent, guys. You can unshare your screen now. Okay, only group members of group 4, please answer the question. Please be eager to answer the question as well. Okay, my first question for you guys here is, okay, you have chosen Malaysia as a market as ahead of other stronger economies such as Singapore and Brunei. Why? Why did you choose Malaysia as a target market instead of Singapore or Brunei? In the beginning itself.
Sir, Ziqing here. I think I can take this question. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Malaysia now has around 55% of the Malaysia adult population that are still underbanked and unbanked. And then currently, the Malaysian government, they are having ease of the restriction that they are let the company to apply for the digital banking license. And another reason will be Malaysia now are having a high smartphone and internet penetration. Although Malaysia is having like several brands in the FS industry already, but then after we compare ourselves with the other Malaysian brand also, we found that actually we can launch it in Malaysia and grab the market share. So why we don't want to step into Brunei and Singapore in our first stage? Actually, we are targeting to step into these 2 countries in the middle stage, which means that is after from 2024 onwards. And currently, Singapore, their government restriction is much more stricter compared to Malaysia. Yeah, and then for Brunei, the population is not so high. Yeah, so that instead of choosing Brunei and Singapore, we decided to go for Malaysia. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. There's no follow-up question for that one. Second question, I was wondering on one of your strategy, why Google want to partner with Bank Jago? Why can't Google just do the same thing they do all over the world and then just dominate the DFS industry? Why they need to partner with Bank Jago? What was your thought behind? What was the thought behind the group when they came up with this?
Sorry, so do you mean Google Ads? The job advertising?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So for my so this is the CPO perspective. So we want to do a job advertising, but we don't want to do on a specific like only 1 or 2.
No. What is not a CPO perspective. My question is, why do Google want to work together with Bank Jago to preload the app in the mobile phones?
This is not collaboration. It's like job advertising using Google Ads. It's not a collaboration.
Yili, I think sir is asking for our strategy 4 under QSPM
Yeah.
2. Yeah. So sir, I
Oh,
think I can take this question. Yeah. Then later my colleagues they can add on. Yeah. So
Okay, go ahead.
while collaborating with Google, actually we also have thought about that Google they can also launch their own DFS products and then to monopolize the market. But then,
Mhm.
actually, Bank Jago, as we mentioned, we are the current market leader in Indonesia, and then we are a bank. So by partner with us, by collaborating with us, definitely we can do more. We can have more potential because Google, they are not a bank yet. So if they want to they want to step into this DFS industry with our collaboration. I mean, we can reach a win-win situation. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Anybody here want to add on with this choice of a strategy? Why would Google want to partner with Bank Jago?
yeah, I think that's good enough.
Oh, Yili, that's good enough. Logandiran, anything to add?
I agree with Jasmine, sir.
I agree
Nasim?
with both of them, sir. But I agree with
Well,
both of
yep.
them, sir. But what I would also say that partnering or collaborating with Google will help Bank Jago will to increase the brand awareness, both in short and long term as well.
So is that one of your objectives that you need to resolve? Was that
Yes,
one
sir.
of your objectives? Oh, yeah, okay. So by Google, but okay, that's okay. I have another question for you guys, also from the same sets of different set of strategy. Okay, my next question is, why would you need to collaborate with any other banks in each market? Because I see you mentioned one bank for Malaysian market, public bank, and then another bank for Indonesian market, and plus, okay, that's one part A of the question, huh? Why your bank want to collaborate with each market? And part B of the question is, why would Bank Jago is already number one in DFS Indonesia? Why they need to collaborate with another bank in Indonesia? So there's two parts of the question. First, why they generally need to partner, and second, why they need a partner in Indonesia since they're already number one in DFS Indonesia.
Yeah, sir. I
So
think I can. Oh, sorry. Yes, Yili.
I think I can take the first question. So why do we need to collaborate with other banks in
Mm-hmm.
another country? Why this question is. So from my perspective, from a CPO perspective, we choose CIMB Bank. So the first of all, Bank Jago is lacking of diversity, and CIMB Bank is the only ASEAN bank that is been selected to the top 100 most diverse bank. And secondly, CMMB Bank also provides a lot of that employee development program, which this is also something that Bank Jago is lacking of. Employee development. Bank Jago is lacking of employee development. Hence, this is a very good opportunity for Bank Jago that wants to enter a new foreign market to learn from them. So we think it's a very good opportunity.
Now I have a new question. I have a new problem. Okay, I didn't
Okay.
notice it earlier. Now I notice it. CPO says collaborate with CIMB Bank training program, but CEOs QSPM say collaborate with public bank. So who are we collaborating with?
All right,
Maybe
sir. To
both.
answer, yes, we are collaborating in both. So for training program, we choose CIMB because of our CPO analysis. She said that the CIMB bank have a lot of achievement and the content that she mentioned just now. Yeah. So for collaborating with public bank and also Bank QNB Indonesia, actually it's like that. So because Bank Jago, although we are the market leader in Indonesia, but then in terms of geographic expansion, we haven't expanded to other Southeast Asia yet. So we are still quite far away to become the top one in Southeast Asia. So that's why we choose to collaborate with Public Bank Malaysia that have a very strong brand recognition. And another thing will be this Public Bank Malaysia as well as the Bank UNB, they haven't explored the digital financial service yet. So we believe that when we collaborate with them, we can provide our system, we can provide our competitive products and services, while we can also approach to their customer base, so that together we can reach a win-win situation in Malaysia and in Indonesia as well.
Yeah,
So
I'm
this
going to
is
follow
our
up with the question. I'm going to follow up this question because wouldn't it just be easier if you collaborated with one bank in all level rather than one bank for training purposes, one bank for the market purposes? Why would CIMB Bank agree to this anyway?
So sir, you are asking me why we don't want to choose Public Bank for the training program instead of CIMB, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Gili.
Okay, so from our perspective, from the Bank Jago CPO perspective, this training program actually applied to two different countries. One in Indonesia employee, another one is their Malaysia employee. Because we are doing expansion in Malaysia as well, right? So for them, from their perspective, from the CIMB Bank perspective, so it's also a very good opportunity for them to know about how the employee from other country think about diversity, this topic, or maybe training program, this topic. It's a very good opportunity for them for like exchange, information exchange.
And sir, another things to add on is because Public Bank, as mentioned, they haven't explored the digital financial service yet. So if we collaborate with them for training program, so actually we also have our own training program, but then we want to, of course, we want to choose CIMB Bank for more digital side training program as well as diversity training program.
Okay, here to me, I'm gonna just ask Nasim and Logan. Okay, I want to ask you guys, wouldn't it be easier to integrate partner with one bank than going with multiple banks in different market and for different purpose? That's all.
So basically, sir, as our objective is to increase market share, it's a good strategy to collaborate with two banks since we can tackle both of the company market share.
Okay, got it. So you're saying that
And
it's best to go for multiple banks.
Yes, sir, to capture the market share.
The reason is because of market share.
Yep, one of the reason.
What are other reasons?
so
Like
another
just
reason
mentioned
is
earlier,
about
sir.
another reason from
Another
my
reason
part is like the brand recognition, sir. When
Okay.
partnering or collaborating with two banks, it will help Bank Jagos to boost its brand recognition in DFS industry in Southeast Asian countries. Yeah.
So you're saying if you partner with public bank, it would boost their name in Malaysia.
Yeah.
So if you partner in another bank in, let's say, Philippines, it will boost its name in Philippines.
Yeah, it's that's the idea, sir.
So is that right, Ziching? Is that the idea?
Yes, sir. Actually, this
Is
is
that the
our
idea,
idea.
Nasim? Is that your idea, Nasim?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You guys take your ease first. Okay. Let me give you a feedback right now. Okay. Okay. Give me a few minutes to compose myself, please. Give me a minute. The rest of you, please wait. I need to get attendance yet.
Sure, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good. Okay. This is my feedback for C1. Your C1, I'm very pleased with your design. Your design of the poster was excellent. You were attempting different ways to present the data for me, and it was colorful. I liked it. Okay. So you have for the presentation and structure, each member were trained well. Of course, there was a little bit of pause in between one member to one member when you transit, but that was all right. Something that's accepted, acceptable at this level, at online purpose and so on. So I'm giving for C1 excellent level. For your academic resources, I went through your list quickly. There were more than sufficient level of quality resources. You literally had how many pages of list of references? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pages of academic resources. I managed to find at least 10 outstanding resources. So you get outstanding marks for C2. That means you get full mark for C2. Huh? Okay, then you're talking about content. You use at least 4 situation analysis in the poster. They're presented creatively as well. So content is very good. For business C4, very good level of identifying and reviewing the problems and opportunities. Very good. C5, your recommendation was clear, was justified, was implemented. There were clear connection from your strategy all the way to your evaluation. So C5, you get an excellent C5. And for your Q&A for question 1, it was well answered, okay, with facts and figures, which is straight away, without doubt, it was perfect. And then for C2, good answer as well, with a good support from the CMO as well. And then good, the question 3, there was deliberate focus on what are the key elements of different partners. But I do understand why you're trying to go for different partners in different countries. So that was a very good answer as well. And your meeting minutes were well written with sufficient enough of detail. So I'm giving you guys excellent for C6. So overall, your entire submission is at an excellent level. Okay, good job, guys. Okay, so you should be able to see your rubric right now. Okay, let me quickly take the attendance. Okay, guys, this session has been recorded. So please play your presentation.
Good afternoon, dear lecturer. Good afternoon, dear classmates. Right now, we are going to present our poster for the company chosen, Astro Malaysia Holdings Berhad. So let's start with the introduction of our group members. We have Anand, Chahui, Emir, Jachi, and Tracy. Let's move on to our proposal objective. So our objective is to identify the situation analysis tools, problems, and objective for Astro Malaysia, and also to choose and implement the strategy and evaluate it. Now, let's take a look to the situation analysis and begin with the IAP matrix. So for our strengths, we have flexible compensation package for employees, strong brand portfolio, strong variety of products and services, highly skilled workforce through successful training and learning programs. We also have a huge capital and flexible compensation package for employees. However, we also have our weaknesses. It's a lack of work-life balance among employees, stressful working environment, high-paced environment that makes it hard for the employees to keep up, revenue moderated by 10% to almost 5 billion ringgit in 2020, liquidity ratio is very poor, did not exceed even 1, poor debt ratio, unable to watch programs without internet connection, and for the last one, we have high prices. Now, let's move on to the EFE matrix. So for the opportunities, we have strong brand recognition that enables our company to attract young graduates. We have the growing economy, digital growth, strategic partnership, and the expansion to Southeast Asia. So for our threats, we have pandemic, because COVID-19 caused Astro to retrench personnel. We have foreign exchange rate fluctuations, the decline of paid TV and radio, and also the customers began to terminate due to free online media platforms. So now I will pass to continue to our group member, Tracy.
Thank you, Amir. I'll begin with explaining the CPM, or the comparative profile metrics of digital finance service providers in Southeast Asia. The main competitors of Astro Malaysia Holdings Berhad are Grab Holdings Incorporated and C Limited. These digital finance service providers will be compared to each other to find out relative strengths and weaknesses. The CPM analysis reveals that all three companies rated and scored best at affordability and versatility and global expansion. As you can see, Grab prevails in e-wallet safety and security and payments and user experience. On the other hand, C Limited prevails in economic opportunities at scale. Astro is the weakest of them all and does not have any relative strengths against its rivals. Therefore, Astro should evaluate their strategies according to their strengths and weaknesses and improve their ratings in the most significant industries areas. Moving on, I'll be explaining about the fishbone diagram that we have developed to identify the causes that might contribute to the first problem, that is poor cash flow. I will begin with CFO's identification of liquidity issues. That is the current ratio or quick ratio that did not exceed 1, and the company's revenue that has been declining for 3 consecutive years from the years 2017 to 2020. Next, the CMO identified the decrease in number of subscriptions from pay TV and advertisements. Moving on to the HR department's high labor turnover rate was identified. And lastly, the IT department's lack of IT development was identified. Moving on to the second problem was the low brand awareness and recognition in the DFS industry in Southeast Asia. Once again, I'll begin with the CFO identifying that Astro's finances were affected by the pandemic as the global economy is still recovering. Next, the CMO identified that Astro has only 2 partnerships in Southeast Asian countries, and the HR department's lack of diverse workforce in terms of nationalities was identified. And lastly, the IT department's lack in digital marketing was also identified. I will now pass on to Anand for further explanation.
All right, thank you, Tracy. Now we'll focus on the objectives every department has set in order to tackle the 2 problems, which is poor cash flow and lack of brand awareness with a specific time. Okay, the CEO decided to increase the revenue and increase the market share. The CFO increased the budget for marketing activities and HR capital. CMO increased the total revenue contribution and increased the revenue contribution from DFS industry in particular. Okay, the CPO reduced the labor turnover rate and as well diversify the workforce. Last but not least, the CIT increased the IT department budget by 50% by the end of 2030, improved the current function of Astro Go, increased the budget by 30% for online development and marketing, and partner with Google Southeast Asia to develop the Astro Pay app by 2023. Now we'll focus on the strategies that CEO has developed. To develop the strategy, the CEO has used ENSOF metrics. As you can see on the screen, there's product development and market development. Product development is entering the DFS industry, introducing the Astro Pay app in Malaysia as the first sign of venturing into the DFS industry. The second would be upon achieving the desired market share in Malaysia, Astro out to expand its services to neighboring Southeast Asian countries like Thailand. Now I'll pass the presentation to Jachi.
Thanks, Anand, for QSPM. Our objective is to improve cash flow and increase brand awareness in the DFS industry. It leads us to propose 2 strategies which can achieve our both objective at the same time. The first is increase revenue by increasing budget for HR activity and marketing activity for Astro in Malaysia. And the second is product development and market development. Introduce Astro Pay in Malaysia and allocate budget for every department to begin the operation in Malaysia and following in Thailand. Finally, we choose the second strategy, product development and market development, because its score is 3.49, which is higher than the first strategy. Next, for the solution metric, according to the strategy we selected, the solution obtained by each department are based on the following. First, CMO solution is joint venture with other company. CFO is tap into cash reserves and find new forces. Also, CPOs is recruit and retain a diverse workforce. Last is CIT is partner with Google for app development. Next, Hui Yi will continue.
So thank you, Jachi. Now I will talk about the Gantt chart. So in the year of Q4 2021, every department with CIT, CPO, CMO, and CFO will collaborate to negotiate and prepare to enter the DFS industry. So at the same time, the most important is CIT. We collaborate with Google Pay to focus on developing the technology for Astro Pay. So however, in the 2022, Astro Pay will be launched and each department will strengthen their role and focusing on promoting of Astro DFS into Malaysia. So for example, CMO will focus on promoting through the SEO, SEM, traditional channel and social media. Therefore, CFO will focus on budgeting on those marketing activity. However, for CPO, will focus on selecting the potential candidate, while CIT will focus on developing and maintaining the IT. So in the Q3 of the 2022, Astro will start to expand and introduce Astro DFA industry into the second Southeast Asia country, which is Thailand. So after that, every department will start to promote and will repeat the same activity in 2022. So moving to the strategy implementation. So there's a conclusion of possible issue, solution, and evolution from the solutions metric. So for the first possible issue is insufficient cash reserve and funding problems. Therefore, the solution is to maintain a healthy and stable development and also create a joint venture with clear and detailed information. Secondly is too many perspective and opinion, especially in this diverse workforce. Therefore, CPO need to elect a committee of higher performing leaders. Thirdly, it's difficult to form a joint venture with prejudiced company. Therefore, as a CMO, need to create a very detailed and excellent marketing plan. At the same time, she also need to provide a partnership advantage offering in order to attract the partners. Next is big budget spending on reference program. Therefore, CIT need to develop a smart bonus system in the Astro Pay app. So moving to the evaluation. So the first one is review each department budget amount, liquidity ratio, and debt to equity ratio. The second is review the number of registered in the Astro Pay, the revenue, and also the conversion rate from the digital marketing. And third one is to conduct a survey for employees in end of every year. And lastly is to analyze the amount of usage of reference link and number of users reading bonus. So thank you for this our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. You can unshare your screen. Okay, unshare your screen. Okay, the group please ready to answer the questions, yeah? Okay, I have a couple of questions here. My first question is, okay, one of the problems that you mentioned is low recognition of the DFS industry. So I'm wondering how the low recognition of DFS industry in Southeast Asia is connected to Astro as a problem.
So can you repeat the question, sir?
My question is how the low recognition of DFS industry in Southeast Asia is connected to Astro as a problem.
All right. So the point here is that Astro Malaysia is definitely a recognizable brand, especially in Southeast Asia. But the reason that we call it as a problem is because it's mostly recognized in the industry of television and streaming and not as a company that provides a DFS services. So we have to build the trust of the customers in that specific field that we are going to enter.
So you're trying to say that is the so it's not the low recognition of DFS is the problem. Astro is the problem because not known as a DFS player. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, exactly.
Would everybody say the same thing?
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes.
So, Yeah, so for another reason is because Astro now just have expanded to three countries. So it's very low because like Astro is in Malaysia is very popular and it's quite long, about 25 years, but it can't how to say like when it develop to other country like maybe like 1 year, then it will close already. Like they won't continue to develop on the country. Like people maybe don't know like um what Astro is providing, so it's very low recognition in other country.
So your answer not only for DFS industry, it is current
Yeah,
industry, it is also have a low
currently also
recognition.
is very low. Yeah, for DFS because Astro is very how because Astro is very new, it's totally new in the DFS, so it more like it costs more very low
So
recognition.
low recognition, why is it a problem? Why can't it be an opportunity? Why can't it be an opportunity? Low recognition means there's an opportunity, right?
Since we want to become the first top DFS industry in Southeast Asian, so it will become the problems when you want
Not
to
opportunity, yeah. Why not opportunity? Because we have low recognition in the DFS industry. DFS industry itself got low recognition. So wouldn't that be an opportunity for Astro to venture into?
Yes, sir. You are right because it is an opportunity as well, but mainly it's a problem because even though the GFS industry is not developed fully, it is still developed to some level to have already existing players in the market that already build the trust in the segment of monetary services like GFS, and they are already made the standard for the people, and people trust them. So even though it's a good opportunity because the market isn't developed well, there are still threats of the existing competitors, and that causes a problem because we have to build our name in this segment, and they already have the trust.
Okay. Any other group members has an opinion for this question?
No, sir, no. We agree with
So,
what Amir has said.
So you all agree it's a problem, not an opportunity as of now?
Yep.
Yeah, because Astro haven't entered the FS industry and is also face the trend for other powerful competitor. So it's a problem, not an opportunity. At the same time, it also can say an opportunity, but we consider it as a problem.
Okay, next question. My next question is focusing on okay, one of the objectives, the objective that you said, increasing market share and increasing revenue. Wouldn't that be the same objective? Why you have two separate objectives? You have increasing market share, you have increasing revenue. Wouldn't that be the same objective?
It could be a same objective, but it depends on a situation. So there could be a situation when the company
Explain the situation, please.
So the situation can occur if, for example, the company doing the job to extend the market share of the company in the market, but at the same time, for the first period of time, for example, for the short term, it could be not as profitable because the company is trying to build the brand in a new segment, in a new market, and the revenue might not be increased by the level of increase in the market share. So the revenue and the profits will come later on when the competition will be lower, or when it will be killed by getting their market share to our company, but revenue not always occurring at the first place when the company trying to establish a brand. Sometimes the company could earn like zero or less than before, or just even to the loss, go to the loss. But at the same time, it gets the market share that it needed, it kills the competition, and later on it can get the revenue. So that's why we put it in two different objectives.
So you're saying that when you increase market share, your revenue will decrease?
No, it depends on a strategy that company will use. For example, we might go in some very, how could I say, critical ways to get the market share. I could say like at all costs. So we even wouldn't go as much on revenue, as much on profits. We either will target to increase the market share first, even if it won't be profitable. For example, like providing our referral links or providing other bonuses for the customers that are not provided by competitors. And later on, when we will get the customer base, when we will become strong as or stronger than our competitors, then we will focus on getting the revenue.
Okay, how about other members in the group? Any thoughts on why you have two different objectives, market share and revenue increase? Any other members would like to give your 2 cents explanation? Go ahead, Anand.
So I feel that the reason why we have two objectives that's almost the same, which is increase revenue and increase market share, because we have two sets of problem, which is poor cash flow and low brand awareness in the DFS industry. So to tackle the poor cash flow, the objective is to increase revenue, and to increase the brand awareness, the objective that we've set is to increase the market share in the DFS industry. So that's how we plan to tackle the both problems that we faced in Astro.
Okay. How about other members? Any thoughts on this before I proceed?
No, sir. We are agreed to Adnan and Amil.
Yes, agree with them.
Okay. Next, last question I have for you is, how does your choice of strategy makes Astro become a leader in the DFS industry? Because you mentioned that Google wants to be, you want to partner with Google and get into Google Pay.
Yes,
so
sir.
why would Google, first of all, your choice of strategy is to partner with Google. So
Yes.
it's like, how would that make Astro to become a leader in DFS industry?
I think because of Google's expertise and Google's expertise in the DFS industry, like for example, Google already has Google Pay, but it's not really that famous in the Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia. Okay, so we partnering with Google may be a win-win situation for both, where Astro gets the expertise and insights into DFS, and Google also gets the, what do you call, the brand presence, like how similarly like how Touch and Go, e-wallet and Alipay partner together, sir.
Yeah, but then why would Google want to partner with Astro? Already have poor brand recognition. Wouldn't that better for Google, who already have brand recognition everywhere, to just do that? Why do they need Astro?
Because apart from go ahead.
What role Astro plays in this?
Go Anand.
No,
What Astro plays in this role of this partnership?
So one of the reasons could be that the Astro already has established database of the customers with their existing.
Only in Malaysia, not in Southeast Asia. So based on your answer earlier.
Yes, but if the Astro will succeed in launching the DFS in Malaysia first with the Google together in a collaboration with them, it will build the brand. It will give enough experience and power to extend successful to other countries.
Okay.
So it first comes to the place that the Astro has the power in Malaysia. It has the database. The customers are paying by monthly subscriptions, and we are from our side, from the side of Astro, could also give some benefits to the Google to, we could say, transfer the customers, encourage them using the Google services, for example, like paying for YouTube Premium or using other Google services. For example, if they're having the Astro subscription, we already have their database. We can contact them. We have used our marketing team to promote the Google products to them or give some benefits. For example, if you're logging in with your Google account, or like only now you can get like a discount on your Google Premium subscription on YouTube if you will buy, for example, Astro subscription. So we are giving a lot of benefit for Google by providing the marketing to our existing customers and pushing the Google to them.
Okay. Anybody else have another answer in the group? How I still have doubts on the convincing me on why Google should partner with Astro in DFS. Anybody else want to add on to the answer?
Also,
Hello,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
I think that we are partnering with Google Southeast Asia to begin the operations in Malaysia first. So though we have a low brand awareness in the DFS industry, but Astro is a well-known brand in Malaysia as a network provider for the past 25 years. So in that way, we are sending out contents to 5 million homes in Malaysia alone. So that would be an advantage for both of the companies in the partnership, because when they come up with AstroPay, and Astro can encourage the customers to pay its bill online through AstroPay, through the AstroPay app, which would be an advantage, which would also sort of increase the revenue, increase the brand awareness that we were lacking in the first place.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other group members want to add on? None, huh? Okay. All right. Take it easy. Okay. This is my feedback of your work. For C1, based on your slide, based on your poster and your presentation, giving you a very good level, a well-designed poster with your presentation works clear and confident. There's no lag between each presenter. For C2, list of references, you have more than sufficient 8 references. Okay, some of it are good quality references, so you get a very good grade there for C2. For C3, you have shown 3 analysis, situation analysis. You have shown 3, IFE, EFE, and CPM. It's better if you have shown 4, but 3, so 3 awards you a good level. Huh? So it's a good level of grade for C3. C4, your problems, you have identified problems clearly, but you should have discussed a bit on the opportunity. But it appears one of your problems is also an opportunity. So that comes down to a very good level for C4, because one of your problems is an opportunity. So that, since from the Q&A, we already identified that. For C5, your recommendation of strategy is clearly justified, implemented well, so you have a good level of recommendation for C5. And for your C6, for the 3 questions I asked, overall, the team did manage to answer. Okay, overall team managed to answer, and 2 team members were eager to explain the answers. A couple of others were supporting the answers. So probably because maybe the different range of eagerness to answer is there. So that is also acceptable. Okay. Overall, and your meeting minutes, you have submitted sufficient meeting minutes, but the depth of content in the meeting minutes is a bit lacking. So that is one of the issues that I have for that. So that's the reason. It's not the Q&A that make you a good level. Okay, it's the meeting minutes. I would have given a very good level if the meeting minutes were slightly done in further depth. So for Q&A C6, you get a good level answer. So overall, the effort. Okay, overall the effort is a good level effort. Okay, you should be able to view your marks with the rubric now. All right, thank you guys.
Really appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right, who is next? Please raise your hand to be the presenter. Sri Sukchin. Okay, what group number are you in, Sri Sukchin? What group is yours?
Group 8.
Group 8, huh? Okay, give me a minute. Okay, you can start Air Asia, right?
Yes.
Okay. You can start sharing your screen.
Okay.
Okay, you can start playing. Start your presentation, please.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Raga and Zia. Me and my teammate are
Go ahead. You can start playing.
Wait, a bit lag.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Let's be patient. Let's be patient. Okay. Go ahead. You may start.
Hi, Mr. Raga and Zia. Me and my teammate Ahmad Dini Sochin are from Group 8 representing to do a poster presentation. The purpose of this poster is to depict the situational analysis, identification of problem and opportunity, and strategy implementation and evaluation. For IFE metrics, the first rank is Asia positioning as a low-cost carrier with a weight of 0.1 and the rating of 4. The second strength is reducing fixed cost by 52% with the weight of 0.1 and the rating of 3. The third strength is cheap ticket to a variety of destinations with the weight of 0.15 and the rating of 3. The last strength is the Big Pay loyalty program with the weight of 0.15 and the rating of 3. Next, the first weakness is loss of RM 270 million in the first quarter of 2021 with the weight of 0.1 and the rating of 1. The second weakness is limited number of destinations with the weight of 0.1 and the rating of 2. The third weakness is balancing service quality and affordability with the weight of 0.15 and the rating of 1. The last weakness is low profit margin with the weight of 0.15 and the rating of 2. Hence, the total weighted score for IFE metrics is 2.35. For EFE metrics, the first opportunity is launching Asian Super App with the weight of 0.1 and the rating of 4. The second opportunity is launching air taxi service with the weight of 0.1 and the rating of 3. The third opportunity is new investor injecting capital into Asia with the weight of 0.15 and the rating of 4. The last opportunity is developing scan to fly with the weight of 0.15 and the rating of 3. Next, the first track is economic deterioration with the weight of 0.1 and the rating of 1. The second track is expenses of Asia have increased with the weight of 0.1 and the rating of 2. The third track is more travel restriction caused by COVID-19 virus with the weight of 0.15 and the rating of 1. The last track is other airlines have adopted low-cost carrier strategy with the weight of 0.15 and the rating of 1. Hence, the total weighted score for EFA metrics is also 2.35. For CPM, the competitor that we choose is Ally Financial and Monzo. The critical success factors used in this CPM are brand reputation with the weight of 0.2, annual revenue with the weight of 0.2, customer loyalty with the weight of 0.1, strong online presence with the weight of 0.3, and customer service with the weight of 0.2. The rating is given respectively for each company. Therefore, the total weighted score for Asia is 2.4. Ally Financial is 3.7 and Monzo is 2.7. Next, I will pass the presentation to Ahmad. Thank you.
Thank you, Ziyan. So I'll be talking about the fishbone diagram, which begins with the problem diagram. It's about AirAsia's low profit margin. Each department stated some causes for that problem to occur. The CFO stated that the high costs of equipment, labor, and fuel are the causes financially. The CMO stated the limited number of destinations and lack of customers due to the restrictions, as well as the heated competition with rivals. And for the CBO, it was the hiring methods, which were inadequate because some were hired based on friendships or other relationships. The second diagram focuses on the opportunity, which is big pay. And Big Pay provides a lot of opportunities when it comes to recruiting new employees and training them. It also increases the cash flow based on the transactions from users, as well as it having over 1 million users and it being guaranteed for safety. This helps it maintain a healthy road to achieve a really good and inclusive DFS in the future. Next up, we have the objectives set by the chief officers to ensure the success of the in the future, which we'll be talking about now. The CEO objectives start with increasing the profit margin by 90% in Southeast Asia by 2030 and by 80% in one country by 2023. And by well, this is for the problem, and then increasing Big Pay users for 90% in Southeast Asia by 2030 and by 80% in one country by 2023 for the opportunity. And for the CFO objectives, it focuses on increasing the budget for training Big Pay employees by 15% of the revenue from each year in Southeast Asia by 2030 and by 20% of revenue in one country by 2023 for the problem and for the opportunity. It's about increasing the budget for Big Pay marketing by 20% in Southeast Asia by the year 2030 and by 25% in one country by the year 2023. For the CMO objectives, it focuses on increasing the brand awareness by 80% in Southeast Asia by 2030 and by 70% in one country by 2023. For the problem diagram, and increasing Big Pay sales by 90% in Southeast Asia by 2030 and by 80% in one country by 2023 for the opportunity diagram. And finally, for the CPO objectives, we have the increasing of the workforce diversity by 80% in Southeast Asia by 2030 and by 50% in one country by 2023. That's for the problem diagram. And for the opportunity one, it focuses on increasing training participation from employees by 20% in Southeast Asia by the year 2030 and by 80% in one country by the year 2023. And now I'll pass it on to Dinesh to talk about the IE metrics.
Thank you, Ahmed. Based on the IE metrics, AirAsia falls under the hold and maintain strategy because the IFE total weighted score is 2.35 and EFE total weighted score is 2.35 as well. So therefore, the AirAsia should pursue strategies focused on increasing market penetration and product development. So moving on to QSPM, based on the QSPM1, the critical success factors that have been used are brand reputation, annual revenue, customer loyalty, strong online presence, customer services, and profit margin. So the total attractiveness score for strategy 1 is 3.2 and the total attractiveness score for strategy 2 is 3.1. So therefore, the best strategy for AirAsia to implement is strategy 1 due to it has higher total attractiveness than strategy 2 as well as can fulfill the objective 1. So moving on to based on the QSPM2, the critical success factors are similar as stated in QSPM1 as well. The total attractiveness score for strategy 1 is 3.3 and total attractiveness score for strategy 2 is 3.6. So therefore, the best strategy for Big Pay to implement is strategy 2 due to it has higher total attractiveness than strategy 1 as well as can fulfill the objective 2 as well. So moving on to solution metrics, there are some solutions for strategy 1, which is invest more in social media to increase sales and revenue, which falls under market penetration. From CFO department, the most recommendable solution is restructuring the marketing budget for Big Pay to prioritize digital marketing, which is 70%. The highly recommendable solution by CMO department is AirAsia focusing on apps optimization. Lastly, the most recommendable solution from CPO department is leverage mobile recruitment through Glassdoor, LinkedIn, and JobStreet, etc. So there are also some solutions for strategy 2, which is add loans and insurance for Big Pay, which falls under product development. From CFO department, the most recommendable solution is acquiring substantial funds from new and existing investors to facilitate Big Pay enhancements and expansion with amount of $100 million. Moving on to next, the highly recommendable solution by CMO department is Big Pay launch a new bill payment feature in its application. Lastly, the most recommendable solution from CPO department is to provide training and development by implementing courses and workshops about loans and insurance. That's all from me. I'm passing to Subchin now.
Okay, thank you, Kinesh. Okay, so these are the Gantt chart for the CFO, CMO, and CPO to implement the action plan for the strategy 1 and strategy 2. Moving on is the potential issues and solutions. Okay, for the first strategy, the finance department face the issues that lack of initial funds because AirAsia has a huge cost, and the solutions are apply for bank loans to increase the budget. Moving on for marketing department, the issues are not focusing on the conversion rate, and the solutions are strike a balance between keyword optimization and the conversion rate optimization. For the HR department, the issues are slow job application process. The candidates will not complete the application, and for the solutions are create quick and easy application process. Moving on to the issue and solution for strategy 2. For finance department, the issues are poor deployment of investment due to the inefficient spending, and the solutions are create budget that are to be followed thoroughly. For the marketing department, the issues are security threats on the web because the cyber criminal resulting in customer losing money, and the solutions are obtain secure sockets layer and multi-factor authentication for big pay application users. Moving on for the HR department, issues are different generation have different learning habit, and the solutions are identify the generation learning preference and choose the software with a simple user-friendly interface. Moving on to the evaluation. For the CEO, the profit margin of Asia and the user of BigPay increased by 40% in one country in Southeast Asia by the end of 2022. For CFO, the budget allocated for training new and existing BigPay employees and personnel increased by 10% of revenue, and the budget for marketing activities for BigPay increased by 15% of revenue in one country in Southeast Asia by the end of 2022. For CMO, the brand awareness of Asia in Southeast Asia increased by 30%, and the sales from BigPay of Asia in Southeast Asia increased by 40% by the end of 2022. For CPO is diversity of the workforce from different nationalities from Southeast Asia of BigPay increased by 30%, and the number of employee training participation in Southeast Asia of BigPay increased by 40% by the end of 2022. Lastly, we believe that Asia has the potential to be the undisputed number 1 in DFS industry from Southeast Asia. So moving on, this is our reference list. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you very much.
All right. You can unshare your screen. Okay, now please, group members, be ready to answer my questions. My first question, BigPay, okay, which is already has a 1 million user, we know that. Okay, this is your major role of using BigPay to they already penetrate some of the DFS industry in Malaysia. But then now, traditional bank like Maybank has came up with their own version of a similar style product. So how does BigPay able to compete against a much larger, a much more financially sound company like Maybank in the DFS industry? Because Maybank have launched the similar style of product right under the MAE. So how are they going to compete there? That is something I want to know.
Do you mean that like if the Maybank is one of our competitors, how?
They're already the competitor.
Okay.
They're already the competitor. They launched a new product already.
Yes, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, can. Go ahead, answer me.
Okay, so considering that Maybank is one of the biggest competitors and DFS providers in the region, BigPay can compete with it in terms of it being they started. They are already developed in the market and they have a huge market share with their 1 million, over 1 million users. This will help them become a mainstay in the market because by developing such a huge user base, it will help them compete with other DFS apps, such as the Maybank one, in terms of revenue and market share, as well as with them improving on the app and adding other features similar to the ones the Maybank one offers. This will help improve their position and increase their market share and user base.
Okay, anybody has any other answer? How they're going to compete with Maybank? How they're going to compete with Maybank? That's all I want to know.
Actually, I agree with Ahmad answers because we can use BigPay existing customers to attract their awareness to to how to say to use the BigPay new services or features that something similar with Maybank.
Okay, I don't see how they're really going to compete with a much larger, more financially sound Maybank, who already has years of experience, giving out loans online and etc. with a better security control. So yeah.
Can I add on to the answer?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yep. Go ahead.
We've gone through. BigPay has gone through a lot of developments and modifications to accommodate such a huge competitive disadvantage from Maybank because with like their introduction to the loan system and this will help it compete by offering new promotions and discounts to attract to attract users so that they can compete with Maybank.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
can I?
So
can I
my
add on?
next question. Yeah, go ahead.
So also, BigPay they provide insurance loans as well. So this can be an important element to compare with to compete with the Maybank. So
Okay. Now let's move to my next question. Okay. My next question is about your action plan when you speak about social media. Okay, as a way to promote, to expand the market and market penetration and etc. How is it that action plan is different from what BigPay is doing right now? How is that action plan of BigPay going into social media marketing, advertising in social media is different from what they're doing right now?
Because we want to increase the awareness first.
Yeah, I know that. How is that different from what they're doing right now? Now also I feel like they're doing the same thing. How is your action plan different from what the company is doing right now?
Well, sir, we wanted to make it much more comprehensive and on a much bigger scale, because BigPay, the marketing campaigns that they've had over the years were through all sorts of media, not just social media, and it wasn't the main focus. So the plan to move on in the future with is to mainly focus on social media, since it will probably attract the most users in the future.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else want to add an answer for that? Why there's a difference? So I want to see examples. You say grand scale, much bigger scale, and at the same time, you all don't have enough money. So how is that possible?
Oh, the money side of it. We plan on restructuring the whole budget for the marketing department to accommodate that. So Big Pay's marketing department will be focusing on decreasing the amounts of the budget for like other types of media and focus solely on social media. And at the same time, we will be looking to bank loans to help accommodate that budgetary structure, as well as fund it in a really good way to help produce really good results in the future.
So any other members want to add on to that question?
I agree with Ahmed, sir. That's what I wanted to say.
Anybody else want to add? So you feel like your action plan that you suggested would actually improve your position right now?
So also, sir, as our objective to improve the brand awareness. So as you asked for an example, so for an example, to raise the brand awareness, especially currently during the pandemic, they create videos with helpful recommendations, particularly for first-time users or people that get affected by COVID. So they have personally they create specific requirements or recommendations or steps to follow during the flight, and also those videos will be uploaded in YouTube to they can check anytime. So and this will the brand value of AirAsia because of this will increase by broadcasting such videos and helpful information about air travel, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, this is my feedback. For your C1, very good. Marks be given for good design of poster, confident in presentation. C2 is excellent. You're more than sufficient. Harvard referencing, high quality references. Content, you guys use 3 situation analytical tool only. So you receive a good level for C3. C4, you manage to identify and review the problems. You get a very good grade there. Your evaluation analysis of your strategy is excellent. Your Q&A, your meeting minutes needs more depth. Okay, so I'm not happy with that. Your meeting minutes, it was there, but I would prefer if it's in further depth.
Yeah,
and your Q&A was reasonably done. Okay, so you get a good grade for your Q&A as well. Okay, so what we have done is overall you receive a very good result.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. You can see who's next?
Thank you, sir.
Which group is next? Raise your hand. Okay, Ihan is next. Okay, go ahead, Ihan. What group is yours, Ihan?
Group 1, sir.
Maybank, huh? Okay.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead. You
Sir.
can share screen and play. Yeah.
Sir, Kelvin is not here. Sir, he is in hospital.
Why?
Sir, his grandpa is in hospital, that's why.
Okay, okay. Never mind. The rest of you should be able to answer. Please go ahead.
Sir, can you hear?
Yes, I can. Play and see. I cannot hear. I cannot hear. You need to replay. Reshare. You never click on that button. You have to click on that button. Okay, click on sharing audio, computer audio. So try to share screen. There's a small button down there. Yeah. Play again. When you press share screen, there should be a button. Cancel your share screen first right now. Cancel it. And now when you press share screen, there'll be a button down there, the small down there at the bottom that says share audio. Click that. Okay, now you start playing and see. No, still cannot. Cannot hear anything.
Sir, I let someone to share it.
Okay, who is going to share it?
Sir, make me the presenter. Let me try.
Okay, thank you. Where is Raisu? Raisu is here. Okay, make Raisu the presenter. Go ahead. Go ahead, Raisu. Try it. Play and see. Play first. I want to see you can hear or not. Cannot hear any audio. Cancel the share first. When you click share screen, there will be a button down there. You must tick on that button. Then only you can play. So share screen again. No. There is a computer audio, so you can play directly. Try again. Like so. Share. When you press share screen, the small square button at the bottom there. You must tick on it. Try again, please.
Sir, cannot find that one.
Cannot find the button down there?
No, sir.
I can find share system audio. When you click share screen, there's entire screen, window, Chrome tab, and then right below there, right below at the bottom there, you will see something called share system audio.
No,
Try
sir.
one more time.
Okay. So
In my group, there are Andrea,
now can hear.
Kelvin, and Forrest.
Now can hear. Restart.
All right.
Now can hear. Now can hear. Perfect. Restart.
Okay.
You can unmute. Okay. Restart. Okay. Play. Oh, you need to unmute. Right. So you need to unmute. Unmute. Yeah. You cannot be muted. So go to your thing. Unmute yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Click that. Click the unmute button. Then play.
So already unmute my one.
Okay. Now play. Now play. Yes, now can hear. Now cannot hear anything. Cannot hear anything again. Okay, we will let who try Andrea to try. Andrea, please try. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Try. Andrea, please try. Play, Andrea. Same here. Perfect. Yeah, same here. Big screen, play.
Okay. A very good morning, sir. I'm Chong Yi-han. There are three more teammates in my group. There are Andrea, Kelvin, and also Raiso. We choose Maybank as our assignment topic, so let's begin for the introductions of Maybank. Maybank established in 1960 and among the top 5 banks in Southeast Asia with a total assets of 165 billion USD is the largest bank by market capitalizations on the Malaysian bourse. So talk about the EFE. EFE metrics is a good tool to visualize and prioritize the opportunities and threats that a business is facing. The EFE metrics is very similar to the IFE metrics. The major difference between EFE and IFE is the types of the factors that include is the models, while the IFE metrics is deal with the internal factors. The EFE matrix is concerned solely with the external factors. The external factors that subjects to a social, economic, politicals, legals, and others external forces. So next is IFE. There is a strengths and weaknesses. So the strengths are fields from which a companies may get most profits and efficiency. Most strengths could cover the weaknesses. That means the company has a good management strategies. The weaknesses are the field which the company should take care of because those can generate losses in two ways. One is directly, another one is the companies on the market can be exposed weak area and lead to losses. So next is CPM. CPM, which allow to better understanding competitors and external environments. Discussed based on the CPM metrics, Maybank obtained a weighted score of 9.14, while the Bank Mandiri obtained 8.825 respectively. In order to better understanding to the external environment and the competitions in the particular industry, firm often use CPM. So the metrics identify a firm key competitors and compare them using industry criticals, success factors. Okay, so Maybank is the market leader in electronic banking where it's introduced many innovative technologies in the Malaysia such as ATM, points of sales debit system, and also mobile banking. Maybank also holds significant market shares in both deposits and leading markets and believe it is the largest market share in top tiers, corporate banking, end user mortgage loan, and also the overseas remittance business. So that's all for my part. Thank you. I will pass it to next presenter, Kelvin.
The proper education on Maybank is retraining and upskilling in place. Because of the changes in the pandemic scenario in Malaysia, this produced substantially digital disruption as well as the diversion geographic area, even though the Malaysia may divide their training into stages with the lesser adventure. As a result, upscaling personnel may be assigned to be trained concurrently, especially in work from home situation where the tools may be digitalized, and this also will save the firm a lot of money over time while also documenting new training and upscaling metric for the future. The second diagram gonna talk about strength application process, which is bad debits are incurable, have no advantage and should be written off. Nevertheless, the bank can employ several terms of good receivable such as payment deduction or collateral and tight loan approval filtration for future application. As individuals seek more fulfill high turnover can be a significant concern. Maybe might consider updating job description and examining particular pay increases. The next I'm going to talk about objective. Okay, the objective of the Maybank is this. Objective of the Maybank is the goal is to help the CEO achieve his to achieve its goal 90% of the Southeast Asia Maybank by 2030. While creating a great brand in a team effort, the sales and marketing teams is uncodable vital. The marketing department is in charge of developing a brand, understanding customer requirement, may assist develop a brand identification strategy and image the sales team to use the market product in Southeast Asia. The smart goal in the teach to both the marketing and sales teams. Its qualified scene is describe the anticipation, short-term and productivity improvement. It is practical scene education that the team is branding, marketing, and selling will result in the expected benefit. Finally, it is timed specifically in the specific time over which short and long-term benefit the anticipant. Regarding to the fraudulent debit, Maybank HR staff failed to recruit the people for the correct job. The bank have create a strategy framework for creating suitable talent equipment teams. The talent equipment team will graduate the proper individual, will hire the proper people. That's all from me. I will pass it to the next person.
Thank you. My name is Raisul. I'm going to talk about QSPM. Okay. Firstly, for QSPM, focus more on personal. Okay. All right. For QSPM, focus more on personal and commercial banking and wealth management service for higher return in net income. Make and establish units in emerging markets like Thailand, Myanmar, India, and increase the volume of a longer-term fixed rate loans, especially in newer markets. And from the alliances with mobile phones companies and software developers to provide the best online banking experience to the customer. Next, the ANSOP metric. Okay, for the ANSOP metrics, first of all, market penetration. Maybank service offer revised to boost their benefit for customers. It enters strategic alliances with various organizations to encourage them to use its services. This will help to measures increase the revenue from the existing market. Secondly, market development. For Maybank, market development in two ways. Primarily is to enter new geographic market and establish outlets. And the second one is to supply new products graded towards attracting a particular segment of present market. Thirdly, product development. One such example is effort to motivate parents from bank account for their children at an early age to assist develop the habit of savings. In banking, the financial service, any new product created can easily and immediately by competitor. Lastly, diversification. For diversification, Maybank can enter unrelated industries like automobiles, media, printing, sports, and so on. Targeting developing nations benefit Maybank as they have the formidable income. Thank you. Now I pass it to Andrea.
For now, I would like to talk about the CMO solution metric, which is they are focusing on strategic partnership, focus on mobile app, and make out the most out of social media platform. For the CPO, they use online training program, training automation, and establish formal career pathway. And for CFO, is we hire more talented people, cooperate with other technology companies, acquire different methods to venture into DFS industry. For the strategy implementation, we are going to talk about having customer to choose between brick and mortar or digital platform and lower customer traffic. This is all that we want to talk about Maybank. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I have quite a number of questions. Okay, just give me a minute to write down my last question. Okay, let's start with the first question, yeah? Okay, first question, let's start off with this. Okay, first of all, can you please re-explain the problem identification and opportunity for Maybank, please? Could you please explain the problem identification and opportunity for Maybank, please? Go ahead.
Okay. Sir, for the opportunities, first, once the Maybank license to operate, their significant chance to grow nation is like Laos. And the secondly, Maybank has great chance to grow its branch network, particularly overseas, because Malaysian mark up a large percentage of population, and the customer.
Wait, Rasul. What is your first problem?
Sir, I'm talking about the opportunity.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So this is the opportunity. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue.
The customer base will grow as internet banking expand. Maybank already they have Maybank 2U is well-known Malaysian internet banking service. The advancements of technology, like it allows people to use PayPal and send money online anywhere, anytime.
Right, so I need to stop you there.
Okay.
Okay, what you're telling me is an opportunity. I agree with that, but
Alright.
that's not what I asked for. I'm asking you guys to re-explain your problem. So one of the problem that you have said is stringent application process. Why is that a problem? Is that a problem or an opportunity? It sounds like your explanation is a problem. Why stringent application process is a problem?
Sir, sometimes, sir, the server gets down for the some internet purpose. So yeah, for this kind of matter, it will be the problem, I guess.
Any other member, please explain to me why stringent application process is a problem. Anybody else in the group, please?
Why? Speak. Shit.
I don't know what is that, sir.
Okay. Yes, Ihan, answer me. Why stringent application process is a problem?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, then next question. Okay, I'm looking at your second problem that you have. Retraining, upskilling in phases. Okay, is that an opportunity or a problem?
Sir, is opportunity.
Okay, why is that an opportunity? I would like to know that.
Sir, because when they retain their employee, it's the opportunity to know the more about that, go the depth of the problems, and they know what the problem is going on, what's going on. So for that, they know
You're
about.
giving me general answers,
Okay.
Raisul. Okay, I'm asking why retraining, upskilling of the workers is an opportunity. That's all. Why is that important? Why it's an opportunity?
Speak.
The workers will be more training and have better skills.
Yeah, why they need this training and better skill? Why they need it? That's all I want to know.
So to improve the brand image.
I know to improve brand image. Okay, what evidence you found that the workers need training?
Because of the advancement in technology, so we have to have training for the workers.
So advancement of technology is training for the workers. Okay, because what I'm looking here is, okay, CMO, okay, makes sense. CFO makes sense. Maybank has been difficulty hiring the right people. CPO also makes sense. But then I want to see why is that an opportunity? Why is that a very big problem for Maybank? I still don't get it. So yeah. Okay, let's go to my next question now. My next question will primarily focus on, okay, it's about putting ENSOF metrics. Okay. First of all, why did you guys use ENSOF metrics to develop your strategy? And what is the purpose to leave ENSOF metrics in the poster? Why did the group use ENSOF metrics, and why do you leave ENSOF metrics in the poster?
So we use the ENSOF metrics to develop the market, the product.
I know, I understand. Why did you choose ENSOF metrics?
So
That's
because
all.
so it is the easy and the what do you call, and we can show the more variety, I guess. Yeah, more variety, so that we choose this one. And for the so what's the next question?
Why is it on the poster?
So we posted
It's not developed by you. It's just a copy paste of something that you can find on the net. Why is that on a poster? Okay, wait, CEO, please answer this question. I believe ENSOF metrics developing strategy is part of you, right? So why did you use ENSOF metrics? First question. Second question, why is ENSOF metrics on the poster?
I just take it online, sir.
But why you did use ENSOF metrics? What's the logic behind using ENSOF metrics as your tool to suggest the strategies? I want to know that.
I was thinking this is easy for suitable for the company, and then I use
Easy or suitable? Okay, why is it suitable? Okay. What other tools did you use to compare?
I don't get your mean, sir.
No, why is it? Okay, so it appears like you're using ENSOF metrics because it's easy, rather than any other tool.
Yeah.
So you're telling what? Boostman is not suitable, is it? To me, the first answer, Raisu and yourself gave us easy. The word easy came out from you guys first. Okay.
No.
My next question is about your poster again. Okay, I'm looking at the word CPM right above CMO solution metrics. Okay, I'm looking at the word CPM right above solution metrics. Okay, that's why isn't anyone checking your spelling? There's a couple of spelling errors in your poster. One first spelling error that I noticed straight away when you're presenting is the word strength. Strength wrongly spelled. Next, you have 2 CPM. 1 CPM in blue that explains above to, and you're comparing with only 2 companies. And then another CPM is above CMO solution metrics. Would you all care that you do not have much care on what are you presenting today?
No, sir. Not exactly.
Could I say that you all don't care about what you're presenting?
No,
you're submitting? I feel like you all don't care.
No, sir, not.
No, because you're putting in content that you can just copy paste from online. You put it there and you put the word ENSOR matrix. I don't know what is it doing there also. Okay, some contents, yes, done by yourself is there. So can you tell me what would be the any reason, okay, why I having spelling mistakes, I having repeated words, repeated headings, and why did nobody check on it before submitting? That's my question for you guys.
Sorry, sir, it's my mistake.
Sir, because our team is messed up, in one word. Sir, no one is following the order. No one is.
Okay, wait. Okay, Raisel. Everybody in the team is to be blamed. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll come straight to my feedback. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, here is my feedback on your presentation and structure, C1. My feedback for C1 is design a poster would have been better. And there's many empty spaces, spelling errors, okay, confidence in the presentation varies from one member to one member. So I think you guys should have taken a couple of takes before submitting. So for C1 is a clear pass. For C2, there was sufficient list of references, but some of the list of references is not of a good quality, like Mind Tools is there. Okay, so it's not really a good quality one, but they were more than sufficient. So for C2, you get a very good grade. Okay, so it's a very good level for that. Okay, then C3, there is good use of, you have used 3 situation analytical tool. Okay, if 4, I would have given you a higher grade, but since there's only 3, so it's a good level answer. For understanding your, for C4, understanding your problems and opportunity is only at a clear pass level, okay, because it's not expressed in detail and lack of conviction of what do you understand from problems and opportunity. Because I've been evaluating you guys on a weekly basis, huh? Okay, and then for critical evaluation analysis C5, your recommendation, your strategy is at a basic level where it does not qualify for a high level of evaluation analysis. There was no justification, there was no clear evaluation, especially I don't see any problem identification, I don't see any final Gantt chart is not there, and so I'm not convinced with your evaluation analysis for C5. So C5, you get a marginal pass. Coming to your Q&A session, your meeting minutes lacks depth completely, okay? So it was not sufficient enough to see what is going on in the group. And then are members eager to answer? Not all members are eager to answer. And then members already admitted their fault, okay? There are issues that have been going on. So there was a poor management of this team. So C6, you get a marginal fail. So overall, you get a clear pass grade. Overall, you get a clear pass grade because I'm a fair person, okay? But some of your members don't deserve this grade. I'll tell you that generally. Who you are, you should know what kind of effort you put in for this particular coursework. All right. Maybe I might want to see you personally to speak to your performances this semester. Okay, that would be my feedback for this group. So looking at what we have seen today, let's start then. Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay. Hello, this presentation is for the subject of MGT4225 group presentation. It will be presented by Group 7, Danesh CEO, Madhu CFO, Beng Hong CMO, and me, Kwa Junyang CPO, with the company of C Limited, located in Singapore, holding Shopee, Garena, C Money, and also Football Club with 33,000 employees. The purpose of this poster is to depict situational analysis on the left, identification problem on the second row, and also the opportunity and strategy implementation on the third and fourth row. Okay, to begin with, the situational analysis of IFE will be the strengths. Flexible and good environment for the employees to work in, multicultural workforce where our ideas are generated, strong brand recognition and good image, which is brand awareness, strong financial position, our finance management is good, and also the return on capital expenditure is positive. Meanwhile, our weaknesses would be communication barrier and also the demanding working hours, which is important in the rating of 3, but the weight is 0.05 because it is easy to curb the issue. Next will be the hard to access without internet because of we have to use technology as the internet as a day-to-day basis. High employees turnover rate and also the high debt ratio. Coming up next will be the external factor evaluation, the EFE. So the opportunities are many applicants, so we can pick and choose the good ones. Partnership with other organizations in order to generate more profit. So it's important. As you can see here, for applicants is 3 and 3. Meanwhile, expansion to Western region is 2 because we do not see it as a very important opportunity. Next one will be the share price movement of the short run. So we need to increase our share price at a very high rate due to COVID-19. Then meanwhile, there will be the trend, which is high demand of benefits. When employees work for a long time, they tend to want more benefits. Then you have the political instability and also the rising number of competitors such as Alipay and also the Touch and Go. Moreover, would be the debt equity ratio that is high, and then the low substantial development policy integration. This can be curbed from our IFE, whereby our finance management is good. Coming up next would be our CPM, which is the competitor profile metrics. We compare C Limited, which we have the highest rating score compared with Alipay and Touch and Go. As for market share, our rate would be 0.15 and our rating is 3, which is pretty much at the average of everyone. Then you have the brand reputation. Our brand reputation is extremely good, just like Alipay. Our customer service, we give good customer service. So as to that, we have gained a lot of customer loyalty. So you can see our one would be 3 for the rating, and then for Alipay, there's also 3, and for Touch and Go is 2. Meanwhile, also our advertising for C Limited is good because we collaborate with many companies. Then our online presence.
What happened lah? Stuck already. Your YouTube stuck.
Sir, sorry sir, my internet connection, sir. Okay, sorry sir, is it back?
Try again. Yeah, play again.
Score for C Limited is 3.6, which is
it's back. Go ahead.
At the above average of 4 compared to Alipay and Touch and Go, which is also pretty much high. So in the end, the weighted score for C Limited is 3.6, higher than Alipay and also Touch and Go, which is 3.05 and also 2.45. Now I would like to pass the stage to Madhumita.
Thank you, Junyang. I am Madhu. I will be talking about the Ishikawa diagram, which begins with the problem diagram. The main problem is C Limited's high turnover rate. Each department mentioned the cause of the main problem. CFO stated high debt ratio compared to its competitors. CMO stated communication barrier among employees due to different accent and culture. And CPO stated spending more on training and development as the employees keep leaving and joining. The second Ishikawa diagram focuses on the opportunity, which is high level of competition. This is due to the slow growth rate, HR department to deal with employees with high demand, and consumer might get attracted by the competitors' promotion or discount. Now I'll be talking about the objective given by all the departments. The CEO objective is problems start with increased market share in DFS industry by 30% and increase market share in DFS industry by 15%. For opportunities, start with increased customer retention on all online payment platform by 40% and increase customer retention on shopping and gaming platform by 20%. CFO objective is to focus on increased budget for marketing in DFS industry by 50% and increase budget for marketing department in DFS industry by 30%. These are for the problem. For opportunities, start with increased budget for operation managers in DFS industry by 30% and increase budget for operation managers in DFS industry by 10%. CMO objective is to focus on increased market revenue in DFS industry by 30% and increase market revenue for DFS industry by 15% in headquarters country. For opportunities is increase customer loyalty on all online platform and increase customer loyalty on shopping and gaming platform. CPO objective focuses on decrease in turnover rate of employees up to 40% and decrease turnover rate of employees up to 15%. For opportunities is improve in communication barriers among employees up to 80% and improve in communication barriers among employees up to 30%. That's all from me. Thank you. Now I'll pass the stage to Danish.
Thank you very much, Madhumita. I'll be presenting on the IE matrix and so on. So for the first part, which is IE matrix, the IE matrix presented by Junjunian has shown the IFE and EFE to be at 3.1 and 3.15. This to put it in the first quadrant, which is in grow and build. From here, we have chosen two strategies, which is market development and market penetration. Now, for the first strategy, which is market development, the first method of suggestion will be to increase and integrate the usage of all the online payments on all platforms in Southeast Asia. The second method would be the acquisition of competitors and which competitors which can improve the market share. For in between these two, for the first strategy of market development, we have proceeded with the first method, which is to increase and integrate the usage of online payments. This choice is the strategy of this method would be to unify all payment methods and to increase vendors which accept payment options e-wallets by C Limited. This would cause like a uniform ecosystem where the customer would be using the same payments throughout, from buying groceries to having online payments and so forth. So for the second strategy, which is market penetration, the two methods which were suggested was to improve and increase the customer loyalty program to new and repeat customers. And the second method would be to increase investments in Shopee Food, which can, in the long term, increase the usage of e-wallets. Between these two, the weightage of the first method is 3.1 and the second one is 2.4. As such, the first method is used. The first method strategy would be all the customers which are already there to recruit them into a loyalty program, which would reward them based on their purchases or future purchases, and which would also reward them for bringing in like a referral program, which would reward them for that. From these two chosen strategies, the departments have done up with a solution matrix. For the first strategy would be market development. The CFO's chosen strategy would be to allocate budget increase of the gaming sector. Out of the three which was given, which was to allocate, the others was to allocate data analysis and to give a higher budget for logistics. But the first was chosen, which is increased gaming budget due to the highest growth. For the CPO's three solution which was given, which is high professionals, practice transparency, and team building, The last choice which was chosen with a score of 504, which is team building, which can be easily done with relatively low cost and would have a high effect on the organization. The next solution provided by the CMO, out of the three options, which are instantly rewarding customers, teaching the knowledge of online transaction, and spreading the benefit of online payment. The first option was chosen, which is to instantly reward customers, which would be a good thing in terms of gratification. Customers tend to use the online payment more when they are rewarded by points, discounts, and so forth. For the second solution, which is strategy 2, which is focused on market penetration, the CFO, out of the three CFO's solutions would be to create better budgets for the marketing. Second is to set a budget of 4 million for the paid reviews, and the third would be to fund an app development. Out of these three options, the first one was chosen, which is to have a proper marketing program, which should be effective when in the terms of how to integrate, because they need to advertise how all these advertisements, how the loyalty programs work and such. By the CMO, out of the three options, which would be using membership to increase customer loyalty, hiring a professional customer service trainer, and the last would be to improve customer feedback and complaints. The CMO has gone forward with the first choice, which is using a membership offer to increase customer loyalty, which seems to be the most beneficial, as customers tend to have repeat purchases when they're rewarded and so on and so forth. Now I'll pass to Beng Hang to proceed.
Thank you, Danish. So now I'm going to talk about the potential barrier that we choose from our action plan in the CPO department. The potential barrier that might affect the action plan is not everyone enjoys the activities. The solution is to discuss the goal and expectation before the game, tells the employees to relax and have fun so that they can provide better quality of work after the activities. For the CFO department, the first potential barrier for the first strategic action plan is lack of time for budgeting, because budgeting needs proper time management to do it correctly in order to avoid problems. We can solve this problem by reviewing the budget monthly or quarterly. The second potential barrier are failing to use up-to-date reports. The solution for this problem is have clear and organized documentation. And for the second strategy action plan that CFO department choose, the potential barrier is finding the right funding option. Solution for this problem is listing down all the alternatives such as credit card, bank loan, angel investors, venture capital, bootstrapping, or self-funding and crowdfunding. The second barrier that might occur in the strategy 2 action plan is spending wisely once funded. The solution is stick to a proper plan, find out what types of software and hardware upgrade are available for the business, and choose the most affordable yet feature-rich option. For the CMO department, the first potential barrier for the first strategy action plan is the instant reward method that does not meet the expectation result. The solution for this problem is adding the reward price to increase customer interest. The second potential barrier for the second strategy action plan is the membership offer does not meet the expectation result, which is customers staying loyal to our company. The solution is increasing the membership offer to a competitive price in the market. And now I'm going to talk about the elaboration. The CEO will elaborate the growth of market share in the DFS industry will grow by 10% in Southeast Asia by the end of 2023, and increase customer retention on all digital platforms by 25% in Southeast Asia by the end of 2023. CFO will increase the budget for marketing in DFS industry by 40% in Southeast Asia by the end of 2023, to increase investment and increase budget for operation manager in DFS industry by 20% in Southeast Asia by the end of 2023. CMO will increase market revenue in the DFS industry by 15% in Southeast Asia by the end of 2023, and increase customer loyalty on all online platforms by 20% in Southeast Asia by the end of 2023. CPO will increase in employees engagement at 15% by 2023, and increase customer loyalty at 7% by 2023. That's all on my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, guys, time for my cue. First question. Why did you guys leave out the Gantt charts? Why there is no Gantt chart in your presentation?
We didn't have enough space.
So that's your reason.
Yeah, and we didn't have enough space, so we couldn't adjust it in. And then That's actually the main reason. But I guess we can actually see the timing of the schedules there, and then the gun actually shows the activity. So maybe you can get an idea from there as well, from the action plan. Just that it doesn't have like the detailed one.
Okay, so the main reason is no space.
Yeah, we didn't have space. So
But
we
you
really
had
tried to
space for IE
manage.
metrics. You had space for IE metrics, but no space for Gantt chart. How about other group members? Any opinion on why there's no Gantt chart? Is it because there's no space?
Yes, sir. I did the poster, sir. I don't have, the poster don't have a much space, sir. So I didn't include.
And why
the
you did
Gantt
not
chart.
put some? Why did you not take something else? What made you decide not to put Gantt chart?
I actually discussed with my group members, so they agreed also.
Okay, why did you all agree to remove the Gantt chart?
So this is Junyang. So
Yes.
we are actually focusing on more on the QSPM, whereby we left it out. Yeah.
Why do you think it's more important for me to see QSPM rather than Gantt chart?
Because I'm quite focusing on the rubrics whereby the I think the QSPM onwards is like 30 marks. So yeah, I focus more on the QSPM and the implementation part.
Okay, Weng Hong, any opinion on this? Weng Hong is a member, so right. Any opinion on this, Weng Hong? Any opinion, Weng Hong? Yes, Chawan, any question, Chawan? Why you raise your hand suddenly, Chawan? Accidentally. Weng Hong, no opinion. Okay. Let's go for question 2 then. Okay, Junyang, you mentioned in your presentation that there are partners who work with C Limited. Okay, who are the partners they work with for marketing activities?
So in terms of partnership, we can look more on the people like what they call the petrols.
Petrols?
Yeah, because
What is the petrols?
we're now trying to like expand our brand, like collaborate with people such as the petrol station, so that we get to know in terms of brand awareness, we can reach out more people. Because we are
Okay.
considered already in the DFS part of sector, so now we are focusing more on like how to expand our brand, like how to get people to know more our brand. So
your partners, the partners that you're referring to are petrol stations.
Yeah,
Hi,
indeed.
are you asking about the partners that are already existing or potential?
Yeah, existing partners. Existing.
Oh, I thought it's potential, my bad.
Okay, existing partners.
Julian, you want to go first?
You can go for it.
Okay, yeah, for Shopee, the existing partners now we can see is they've actually partnered with Maybank to actually have a Shopee payment card, which gives the users rewards, 5 times more cashback and all this. So they have actually partnered with them. They've partnered with My News, if I'm not mistaken, to have like a promotional thing where if you use their Shopee Pay through the transaction, they give you back 5 ringgit cashback. I think there have been more, but these are to name a few, sir, that I'm sure of.
Okay. Young, anything to add on?
No, I pretty much agree with Danish.
Okay. All right, next question 3. You mentioned about one of your strategies focusing on creating loyalty program. Why do you think your loyalty program would actually work?
I said, I think I'll take this question. Why I think the loyalty program would already work is because actually they already have a very large market share. From what I've seen from TechWire Asia, they have already have a market share of 54% in the payment in the e-commerce industry, and they've actually have due to this, if they already have a large number of users. Even the number of users has already been the top in all the countries if they compare to their rivals in most countries like Indonesia, Singapore, and Malaysia. So by having, they already have the customer number. So by having customer retention increase, would definitely increase their revenue and the market share, because it's already seen that customers that already have or are already there would actually spend more, and they would actually purchase more items.
Okay, the thing is, how do you know? Okay, because loyalty program, a lot of companies been doing all this while. So why does your loyalty program for Shopee will actually work? That's my only question.
It will be probably because of the trust. The main thing when it comes to DFS industry, it will be the first thing is when you're dealing with money will be the customer's trust. Because Shopee has already been dealing with a lot of purchases for Shopee Pay, where people sometimes buy items which are thousand. They have already have the trust, and maybe they feel more comfortable to spend that money in the Shopee because they've already done pre-sale. So they would have maybe like an advantage because of that, because of previous experiences.
So, but then why you need loyalty program for that then? Previous experiences, good trust, isn't that enough? Why loyalty program?
Because we want to retain them, because they already have a large market share, so it'll be pretty difficult to keep increasing at a high number. So they should retain the customers they already have, so that they can grow from there. And the customers they already have, they can actually refer to other customers which can grow as well.
So currently they already can retain a lot of customers, right? So I still don't get it why you need such loyalty program.
Because the competition is increasing, sir. There's a lot of e-commerce out there, so they might have maybe cheaper prices or more attractive things. So it's to ensure, because due to the high level of competition, they should retain their customers as well.
Junyang, any opinion on this matter?
Yeah, because from our way, we focus more on how to improve that by increase our employees in terms of like treat our employees well and train them well, so they give good treatment to customers. Since according to Danish, like our market share is really big, just that we want to retain those customers from going to the competitors. So our way is to treat them well and give them good services. Yep.
Okay, Madhu, Meng Hong, anything to add on?
No, sir. I agree with Junyang and Danish.
So I think Beng Hong has mic
issues.
Okay. No
like
wonder I
he
can
speak,
see.
but no one can listen him.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
sir. He messaged in the group.
Okay, it's all right. Okay, coming back to your feedback, you all can take it right now. Huh? Give me a minute to collect myself. Okay, you can pause right now. Mute right now. Okay, let's start with the first part. Yeah, for the presentation structure C1, I'm giving you guys a C. I'm going to give you guys a very good grade for that, because I find that you utilize the space sufficiently. Okay, perhaps maybe some space can be reduced so we can have a Gantt chart there, but I'm giving you a very good grade there. The use of academic resources, there's more than sufficient quality resources that I saw, so you have excellent grade for C2. For content, to identifying the right, you only chose 3 situation analysis. So it would be better if you had 4 situation analysis to present. So for content C3, you get a good grade. C4, you have clearly identified and reviewed at least one problem and one opportunity. So in that case, I'm giving you a very good grade for C4. C5, for your evaluation analysis, you managed to recommend at least one strategy with clarity and clear justification. So I give you a very good grade for C5. C6, okay, your Q&A was good. Members were eager to answer. You guys were giving turns to each other to answer, which is good. However, your meeting minutes need further development. Your meeting minutes content was not as high as I would want. Okay, so that's why for your C6 Q&A, you only get a good result. It's probably because the depth of your meeting minutes. So overall, I felt overall it is a good effort. It is a very good effort from you guys. Is it a very good? This is not very good. This is excellent effort from you guys. Overall, you received an excellent score. Okay, so good. So an excellent effort from all of you together.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. You get that. Okay. Now to go for our last group to present. So who is it? Please raise your hand. So it's Yuri. Yuri or Matthew? Who's going to present? I'm going to just put both of you there, lah. I'll put Yuri first, lah. Okay.
I
So, Yuri.
will share my screen.
Okay, give it a try, Yuri.
Yeah.
A very good day to my lecturer, Mr. Raghav, and
Can
my
you
fellow
listen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, Ken, go ahead.
The CPO, joined by Yuri, the CEO, Ong Xiaojun, the CMO, Nihayat, the CFO, Alia, the Chief IT Officer, and we're all from Group 2. Today, we would like to conduct a poster presentation on how Sunway can be the #1 digital financial services company in Southeast Asia. I would like to start off with the IFE, where Sunway's outstanding internal strengths and weaknesses is that they operate closely with the government, while their company lacks improvement from their existing standards, which brings their total weighted score to 2.54. For EFE, Sunway's outstanding external opportunities is the development of the DFS industry technology, while rapid shift in technology is the outstanding external threat, which brings the total weighted score to 2.63. Moving on to the CPM, Sunway has two competitors in Stripe and Flywire, where all three parties are evaluated in several critical success factors, where Sunway scores the highest at 3.8, Stripe at 3.35, and Flywire at 2.35. Right now, I'd like to pass the stage to Nihayat.
Thank you, Matthew. For the issue diagram point, the challenges to be a DFS company is lack of effort made to reach digitally is excluded or underserved population, failure to reach out a large majority of customers, failure to raise awareness and educate the benefit of customers. For CEO, DFS to be yet to be part of corporate culture, lack of teamwork within departments to introduce DFS. For finance, it is high costly and low return. For marketing, failure in raising awareness, poor education in the benefit of DFS. For HR, lack of training and skill to MNOs, lack of expertise. And for IT, lack of innovative design, reliability, privacy, authentication issues. For the Ishikawa diagram opportunities in departments, for CEO, high recognition, efficiency in marketing. For CFO, healthy revenue, can take risk, Sunway is able to take risk. Again, more large customer base, they have a large customer base, potential market for digital services. The CPO diversifies workforce, attractive packages, expert and specialists, customers going digital, and succeeding and establishing another country. So succeeding and establishing another country is highly potential for Sunway. Now I'll pass to my fellow teammate, Yuri.
If for objectives of the department have two objectives with long term and term. CEO is 60% in DFS industry in Southeast Asia by year 2030 and 70% in one country by 2022. And second objective will be to have market share of 30% in Southeast Asia by 2030 and 40% in one country by end of year of 2022. And for other departments also set their objectives respectively. CMO is aimed to increase the promotion method number of Sunway's VFS user. CPO increase the amount of manpower and create the general natural workforce. And CFO is to increase the budget for marketing department and human resource department. Lastly, the CITO is to reduce the risk of cybersecurity threat and provide a security IT finance. So next, I move to the strategy implementation. Based on the IE metrics, we can see the Sunway Group falls under the quadrant 2 with an EFE and IFE score with 2.63 and 2.54 respectively. In this case, tactical strategies should focus on market penetration and product development. For grand strategy metrics, Sunway Group is located in first quadrant, and this segment has a strong competitive situation. Quadrant 4 firms have the characteristically high cash flow levels and limited internal growth needs and can pursue horizontal or conglomerate diversification successfully. We use two metrics for formulate feasible strategies. So next, I will move to the QSPM. We have two QSPM table, which is for two objectives. First one is for objective 1. The first strategy is related diversification, acquire a cybersecurity company within the industry. And second objective will be a partner or consult with experienced cybersecurity and to have more promotion through online platforms. The first QSPM concluded that market penetration should be used. This is because market penetration with acquiring a top security company can address key problems by addressing the issue meaningful acquisitions. For second one is for the second objectives. The first strategy is market development, expand the Sunway digital finance coverage area across all Asia regions. And second will be the joint ventures, providing unique and safe offering with the Sun-Sea capital. The second QSPM conclude the related joint venture should be used over marketing development. This is because it can be access greater resources, include the specialized staff, technology, and finance. From the evaluation from all levels, we finally come up with the two recommended strategies: market penetration for objective 1 and joint venture for objective 2. So I will pass to Xiaochun.
So here are the solutions that we have for objective 1. Our marketing team will choose to increase promotion method as it is easy to implement, will have great impact to increase brand recognition, and have high acceptability of business. For our HR team, we will open new positions and roles. It is easy to implement, have high impact and acceptability of business. For our financial team, we will use monthly or annually pricing as it is very easy to implement, have high impact and moderate acceptability of business. For our IT team, we will team up with experienced cybersecurity provider as it is easier to implement, have moderate impact and acceptability of business. Besides, we also have some solutions for objective 2. As a result, it is easy for our marketing team to promote about the joint venture, and this will bring greater impact and higher acceptability of business. For the HR team, we will choose to move employees around the two companies to improve gender equality index. This will bring great impact and moderate acceptability of business, even though it is not that easy to implement. For our financial team, we will choose to share the investment and expenses. It is easy to implement. It will bring moderate impact and have higher acceptability of business. For our IT team, we will adopt MSP best practices as it is easier to implement, have higher impact and acceptability of business. I will pass the time to Alia.
Okay, so here is the short-term Gantt chart for all departments for the year of 2022. For CMO is to increase promotion method. For CPO by opening new positions and roles. For CFO by lowering price options, monthly or annual payment methods. And for my department, CITO, we will be teaming up with an experienced cybersecurity provider. So in the year of 2022, the action plan of the solution takes place. The progress of the solution can be tracked monthly in the criteria of define, research, plan, produce, execute, and evaluate. However, it is ideal for Sunway Group to evaluate the success of this action plan by the months of October, November, and December by the year end stage because it is a short-term plan. Next is the long-term Gantt chart for all the departments for the year 2022 to 2030. So for CMO is to increase the promotion method of Sunway DFS by 60%. In Southeast Asia by year 2030. For CPO, to increase the amount of manpower in the workforce by 70% by the year 2030. For CFO, to increase the budget for the marketing department by 50% by the year 2030. And for CITO, to reduce the risk of cybersecurity threats by 60% by the year of 2030. So the Gantt chart above depicts the long-term strategy for all departments' objective, which is in line with the CEO's overall plans and general goal for Sunway's DFS expansion. In order for this plan to be effective, all departments need to monitor and ensure there is progress each year from 2022 to 2030. This strategy can be achieved if all departments stay focused on what is important to reaching their goals by the year of 2030. Lastly is the potential issue and solution for all departments. For CMO, the possible issue would be the promotion method used did not bring the expected result. So the solution would be investigating the reason and choose a better way to promote. For TPO, workers may retaliate due to a lack of career progression. So the solution would be awarding them with monetary incentives, compensation packages, and promotions. For CFO, the possible issue would be lack of trust. So the solution would be engage and educate customers so that they trust the system. And for CITO is data security. So the solution would be enhanced encryption and biometrics as one of the solutions for this problem. Thank you. That concludes our presentation for today.
Okay, now I have a couple of questions. My first question is, your group used Grand Metrics and IA Metrics together to develop strategy, right or not? Why there was a need to use both tools?
Yeah, so for I'm Matthew here. I'll answer for group for this part. Okay, for IE Matrix, I think this tool is the best one to determine where Sunway stands in the market and what helps to determine the strategy.
But why both? Why not one?
Yeah, for this part, I think Yuri can answer.
Why both?
I
My question is why both?
I want to make sure where's the company is located in. Yeah, so to develop the strategy. So I use this to ensure it.
So why was not one sufficient enough? Why need both? That's my question. Any reason for that?
No reason for it. I just I need to develop the two objectives, two strategies for objective 1 and objective 2. So I just want to make sure that I'm in the right way or not.
So you want to use both tools to see whether you get the same answer in both tools, is it?
Yeah. So in conclusion, I get the same one.
Okay. Would anybody else concur with that? Can the rest of group members agree with that? Did Yuri spoke about that to either one of you?
Yes,
Did
sir.
Yuri spoke about that? Yeah. Who
Yeah,
was that?
I'm Xiao Chun.
Okay.
Yeah, we all agree with that.
Okay, so Yuri did spoke about her intention to use both so that we can get the same, but to see whether we get the same answer. Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Okay. My next question is, okay, using both is fair, but why do you have to put both of them in the poster? Wouldn't that take space?
Yeah, so in my opinion, I think it took space a little, but I think the importance of having the grand strategy matrix is to strengthen our reasoning behind choosing the strategy. So in the grand strategy matrix, it shows the quadrants where it dictates whether our company should implement product development or diversification. So I think it's important to have both.
So why you have to put it on the poster, both on the poster?
I just think it's necessary to strengthen why the company should implement these strategies from the tools.
I understand why you want to use it, why you used it, okay, but why you have to put it both on the poster?
I just think it's necessary, sir. Because we worked hard on it.
Okay,
And
anybody else? Anybody else?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Nihayat?
Yes, sir, I agree with Matthew
Alia?
because yes, sir, I agree with Matthew because we discussed it before. I think it is necessary since all of us like put so much effort on it.
To look at the both metrics. Okay. One of your strategy you mentioned about joint venture strategy. Who would be a potential partner for the joint venture and why that is a potential partner and why you did not mention that potential partner?
Yeah, so Matthew here again. I think the joint venture partner that we have in mind is Sunsea Capital from Southeast Asia. And the reason why we choose Sunsea Capital is because they are another conglomerate company that focuses on some financial matters. And by having this joint venture with them, we can Sunway can improve as a conglomerate and a digital financial services due to funds and the rotation of employees here and there, and their reputation as well.
Okay. Is that true? Did you guys have a lengthy discussion on the partner? Choice of partner? Yuri?
Yes. We also think the Sunsea for what is benefit for Sunsea Capital. So the Sunsea Capital is now looking for the sector for logistics and enterprise, property, technology, or hospitality. So we think if we do the business together, we can expand the business which they want, which they are interested in. So we chose the Sunsea Capital for the partner.
So why do you choose a partner that is, well, a bit more complements Sunway, where they are famous in certain parts of different countries? Why do you choose a company that is not, might not be that famous? It's Sunway, is the company joint venturing partner is famous in other countries as well?
Not really. Sunset Capital is a famous company in other country, but for our short term, we start to aim to get the brand recognition and the market share in Malaysia for the short term. So we chose the Malaysian joint venture company first.
Okay, another question I have is was part of your evaluation. Okay, when you speak of evaluation, you talk about workers may retaliate. And then you mentioned that you're going to pay compensation for workers who are retaliating, right? Not?
Yeah, that's my part, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So do we have sufficient money to pay compensation when they retaliate?
I think it is a matter of money, but at the same time, because if it is a new digital financial services company in Southeast Asia, we have to like sacrifice a bit of the money because of the workers and the fact that it's a new company. We have to have the more necessary manpower than we can get. Yeah, they would suffer from a lack of career progression, but keeping them in the job for now as the company progresses along, I think is also crucial.
Okay, does finance department got any say in this? Do we have sufficient money for compensation?
Yes, I think because even after the COVID also, the Sunway did quite really well. So they have the cushion money to accommodate this, I guess.
So what was the liquidity ratios?
Sorry.
What were your liquidity ratios? That would tell me whether you have sufficient money or not.
As of December, it was around 11,579 million.
No, I'm asking what is your liquidity ratio that you calculated for the course? What was your liquidity ratio in 2020?
Asset turnover was 0.2.
No, I'm asking for liquidity ratio. So it's current ratio or asset test ratio?
So it's 1.
So it was exactly 1.
Yeah, according to the website. Yep.
But not based on the calculation that the finance head did.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but according to the website and etc.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
I just checked. It's 0.2.
So the liquidity ratio is 0.2.
For the
So
asset
that
turnover.
Asset turnover. It's
I'm not asking for asset turnover. I'm asking for current ratio.
Current ratio, it's 1, yeah.
Exactly 1, huh? That's would expect to see that in your report. So if current ratio is 1, then we are exactly enough money to pay certain debt. So maybe they can afford, maybe they can't afford. So make sure, since you already say is maybe can be afforded, make sure your current ratio is more than sufficient enough money, yeah. Okay. So now you all can be at ease right now. Okay, you can mute. I can give you my feedback right now. Okay, my feedback, let's start off with for C1 presentation and structure, I feel like you have a good design. You minimize the number of words, mostly everything tables and charts. But I felt that'd be better if you can squeeze in some introduction and some background somewhere where I did not see. So for that reason alone, for C1 you get a good grade. Okay, then for academic resources, you should have shown me more academic resources. I'm sure you have used more than this. Okay, but it's based on just the tools. So that's one of the reasons why C2 you're getting a good grade. So perhaps you should have highlighted more references that you have used. Content, you have used 3 situation analysis tool. So that is a good level mark. If you use 4, it would have gone to very good level. Identification of problems and opportunity for C4 of business application was a very good level. And then recommending at least one strategy and justifying. So thank you for justifying the support of both the answers that I received just now. I understand you're trying to use 2 models to justify your choice of strategy. Because of that, C5, you get a very good grade. And then for the Q&A session, all members were eager to answer. The meeting minutes were sufficient. Just that Q1 and Q2 were much clearly answered, much better the answer. Q3, I would expect a better answer. So Q6, you get a good grade because of that. Overall, the group did excellent. Overall, it is an excellent. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
barely excellent. Barely excellent, very close to very good, but barely excellent. Still, yeah, still excellent. Okay, so let's stop.